Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind you know I'll always manifest it. 'cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Good morning and welcome to my Mind Over Your Matter. My name is Rick, and let's get the show started. I had a good night's sleep last night. It was really, really, really good. Actually, too good. It was a very peaceful dream. Very, very peaceful, very relaxing. And there was like 2 actors that were in my dream last night. 2 movie stars that were in my dream last night. And one of them was Matthew Broderick. He was in my dream last night. And so was Martin Short. Was it Martin Short? Or I don't think it was it Martin Short? I'm trying to remember his name. Well, they were in my dreams last night, and man, I had a good time laughing with them and having carry on. And I rarely dream of dreams like that. And the fact that it was peaceful, it was fun. I wasn't like an agent or trying to like fight. It wasn't even like that. It was very, very, very peaceful. And man, and the dream was so nice and so relaxing. I'm here rolling up my medicine right now. So that way I can have an early smoke. Say hi to Chloe. Good morning, Chloe. Yeah, I'm up early. Like I said, I had a really great dream last night, and I wanted to start out the week with an early show. It's been a long time since I had a really good sleep at night. It's been a very long time. But last night I just slept through, and I think it's because of YouTube, a little bit on YouTube, because I started watching or listening to a program about the universe. And it was an old program that I used to listen to back when I was in the hospital. I was in the hospital for a year. And in that year, I would listen to this program. And this one program would put me to sleep. Would always put me to sleep. Well, I came across that program last night. And I was in awe. And I was like, well, I'm going to put it on tonight. See how I sleep. Sure enough, I slept like a baby. I was knocked out. And I felt so good, because I had like happy dreams. It's been a long, long, long time since I had a happy dream. And it was very peaceful. It was very fun. It was non-argument, like no arguments, no, like everything was just very peaceful in my dream. I was so happy when I woke up that I was like, man, I should do a show and just talk about it. And then I also said, well, I want to catch up on some news because I know there was some development last night on the baby Emmanuel, and the father um, is helping searching for the baby. Well, he took the police on a search at a location where they dumped the body of the baby, and the location where they dumped the body is kind of the location that I had envisioned, but I also envisioned that wildlife had done something to this kid and probably ate him up. Um, but we're hoping to find baby Emmanuel because that's a really sad story, and it's not that kid's fault that he had fucking parents as assholes, and the fact that the mother continues to stand by her story that the baby was kidnapped is so disturbing. It's very disturbing. And put my phone to charge here. I already, it's kind of like an early wake and bake. It is because, I roll my medicine, I smoke my medicine. I need to buy some medicine. Talking about medicine, I need to go get some today. I'm gonna go get some medicine today. Today is Monday, so I get a 20% off discount on the medicines. So that's great. I hope they have some good stuff because they keep having the same every day, and it's just I like certain medicines I like, but they don't produce them anymore, and I don't know why. Like White Widow. White Widow is my favorite, and no, no, no one's producing it. And I have the seeds. That's the funny part. I have the seeds to grow it. I just don't have the strength slash the patience slash the physicalness to do it. It's hard for me to do a lot of physical things, which sucks. Hey Maggie. Hey Chloe. Yeah, we're gonna check out a story on that in a moment about the baby. Second to set it up, and then we'll watch together. It's just very disturbing because I had a feeling this baby was like abandoned and thrown near the mountain terrain, and I had mentioned it on my show a few days back, like almost like a week ago, that I felt like this baby was just dumped, and this baby, that's what they're looking for. Uh, and it's so I don't want to curse so early in the morning. I don't want to curse so early in the morning, but fuck it. This is all fucked up. It's a fucked up situation. Poor fucking baby, man. The parents, like I say all the time on my show, eye for an eye. If you harm that baby a certain way, well, that's the same way you should be harmed too. And if you drop that baby on the floor and smashed his head and killed him, that's the same way we should do to you. We should smash your head on the floor and kill your ass. I believe that justice is just not really there when it comes to children. A lot of children, they need to be protected and watched over. Not like this parents. Like Emmanuel's parents were, there was something wrong with them from the get go, and I truly do blame the government. I blame, as far as like the Children's and Families Department, that should be monitoring. I know this individual had went to jail and he had a prior incident with his daughter that now she's paralyzed, and I think she's blind and paralyzed, and that should have been a red flag for the Children's and Families to go and investigate, especially that he got another person pregnant and had this little baby boy. The first thing they should have went is to investigate that little boy and make sure that that little boy is okay. The fact that they didn't do nothing is so disturbing. So disturbing. California is just weak on crime, weak on everything. There's just absolutely no excuse to harm any child of any age. It just doesn't make sense. It makes me more mad than anything. It does. Um, but let me set this video up so we can watch together. Poor baby. Poor baby. Look at that little face. My God. Oh,
Right now at 11, new developments in the case of baby Emmanuel. His father seen in a prisoner jumpsuit today, helping detectives search through a field in Riverside County as both parents remain in custody on suspicion of murder. I'm Kathy Farah.
And I'm Jonathan Gonzalez. Those new developments today drawing search teams and investigators as well as cadaver dogs to the scene there. There has been a widely publicized search across the Inland Empire since Emmanuel's parents claimed the 7-month-old was kidnapped in Yucaipa on August 14th.
From there, detectives say their story fell apart, arresting the parents at their home in Cabazon on Friday.
And then today, search and rescue crews were seen looking for the remains of the missing infant.
NBC4's Tracy Leon live in San Bernardino County with an update on the search. Tracy?
Yeah, Kathy and Jonathan, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department led the search and rescue operation earlier today in Moreno Valley. They were not able to locate Emmanuel Harrow, and at this point, they do not believe he is alive, and they say their search and their investigation will continue until they find the baby's remains.
It's going to be very hard to find them.
Spent hours combing through rugged terrain along the 60 westbound freeway near Gilman Springs Road in Moreno Valley Sunday afternoon, looking for 7-month-old Emmanuel Harrow. The baby's father, Jake Harrow, was also at the location with detectives.
In my experience, when somebody is being let out and being escorted to a particular area to look for a body who has been unaccounted for and they believe is a victim of a murder, that tells me that the person is sharing enough information.
Private investigator Moses Castillo investigated crimes against children during his more than 30-year career with the LAPD.
If it's true that the body was dumped somewhere in the fields, by now with the hot weather and the length of time, the body is decomposing and it's going to be in very bad condition. But they could still do an autopsy and try to determine the manner and cause of death. If there's some abusive head trauma, they'll be able to see that.
Emmanuel's parents, Jake and Rebecca Harrow, were arrested Friday on suspicion of murder. Officials believe the 7-month-old is dead and his reported kidnapping did not happen. Emmanuel was first reported missing August 14th. His mother, Rebecca, told investigators she was attacked at the Big Five in Yucaipa and someone took her baby. After deputies confronted her about inconsistencies in the story, both parents stopped cooperating with investigators. According to law enforcement, Jake was convicted in 2021 for cruelty to a child and in 2024 for being a felon in possession of a handgun. Jake's car was also recently seized by law enforcement. Castillo expects law enforcement to be back in the same search area tomorrow to thoroughly scour the area to ensure they didn't miss anything.
I think the mom killed the baby.
Decency of a funeral or a resting place for him, because no child should ever endure something like this. So my heart goes out to Emmanuel and everybody impacted by this.
NBC4 Investigates spoke to the Riverside County DA's office. They say that if the parents remain in custody and they decide to charge them, they will be arraigned on Tuesday. Reporting live in San Bernardino, Tracy Leong, NBC4 News.
So disturbing. Let's go to this news.
We're following breaking news out of Moreno Valley, where investigators just wrapped up a search for missing baby Emmanuel after they weren't able to find his body. Skyfox flying over the scene just 30 minutes ago. You can see search crews leaving the area. This is off the shoulder of the 60 freeway near Gilman Springs Road. Investigators used cadaver dogs to also help in the search. And you might see Emmanuel's father, Jake Harrow, also on scene with detectives.
I agree, Maggie.
You can see him there wearing that orange jumpsuit. He and his wife, Rebecca, were arrested on suspicion of murder Friday, while authorities conducted an operation at the family's home in Cabazon. Riverside County deputies were called to Moreno Valley for a child abuse incident Thursday. They have confirmed that the case is related to the Harrows. Court records show that Jake Harrow pleaded guilty to child cruelty charges in a separate case in 2018. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf will have a live report on this developing story later on at 10.
Fox 11 weather is sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino.
Crazy.
That's me. I'm on my way.
Whoa.
I'm in Sunday mode over here. Sorry. All right, let's talk about our weather now. We've got the heat kind of going away. We've got some storms that'll continue to blow up in some spots the next few days as well. This is a live view.
We're not doing California weather. I'm sorry, but California weather. It's hot. Okay, that's your story. Let's see what's up with this Abrego Garcia guy. That's going to be the next on the tab here, but let's go and let's discuss about baby Emmanuel. Man, what a horrible story, and the fact that they're looking for this body next to the mountains. It's just, I had a vision that he was out there in those mountains, and they're saying, "Oh, but we can still do an autopsy and all this and that." How are you going to do an autopsy on a probably not? I don't know if that's feasible, because if a wild animal like a coyote or a wolf or any of those wild dogs or any animal could come through and swipe that body up and eat it. Man, just to think, man, what a horrible parents, man. I wish the same way they tortured that kid, it's the same torture they should do to the parents. That's why I believe an eye for an eye. It's just, it is what it is. But when they do find that child and they find the remains, I will break through and break in and show you guys the reports on it. Other than that, they're still looking for that baby, and they're getting close. They're getting close, but it's going to take more searching in order to find the remains. Oh, man, that's so disturbing. All right, let's go to this Abrego guy here that we need to have removed from the United States, because I believe he's here limited time, but he will be deported, and that's this individual, and this is the story of Abrego Garcia.
Reporters are Tom Homan. Tom, thanks for joining us tonight. Obviously, a fast-moving case. Abrego Garcia's lawyer says the government is, quote, weaponizing the immigration system against him. My question is, what's your response to accusations that you're weaponizing the immigration system? And will, in fact, Abrego Garcia soon be heading to Uganda?
He is absolutely going to be deported from this country. He's not going to walk the streets of this nation, so he can enjoy the little time he has with his family. And for the person who says we're not going to separate family, well, his family can go with him, because he's leaving. He's going to be deported. Look, he's a criminal alien. He's a member of MS-13, which is now a designated terrorist. He's a white beater. He's a human trafficker. He's been indicted for human trafficking and alien smuggling. He's a bad person. He's not going to be here. He's been order removed twice. Order removed by 2 different federal judges. He's going to leave this country in the very near future, and his family can go with him. I can't see who was talking before the sound bites, but whoever said we're taking advantage of broken immigration system, what do they do? What do those people do the last 4 years about this broken immigration system? They let 10.5 million people cross that border. Sex trafficking women and children, all-time high. Overdose deaths of fentanyl, all-time high. Number of terrorists, all-time high. They didn't do anything to fix it. President Trump is keeping his promise to American people to enforce the law, and that's what we're doing. We're making this country safer every day by removing people like Abrego Garcia.
Hey, just to follow up, Tom, so just to be clear, is Abrego Garcia headed to Uganda? The lawyers apparently telling the AP that DHS notified on Friday at 4 p.m. that they may remove him to Uganda in 72 hours. Can you confirm that?
Look, Uganda's on the table. We'll see. I mean, DOJ's, our immigration attorneys and the judges, they're all in negotiations, and we'll see what happens. But Uganda's on the table. We have an agreement with them. It's on the table. Absolutely.
Hey, Tom, it's Nicole. 1,700 National Guardsmen across 19 states are getting ready to help DHS crack down on crime and also the illegal immigration. ICE has already ramped up enforcement in D.C. with the new arsenal of SUVs, while the border wall is getting a new coat of paint to keep the illegals off. Now, Secretary Noem is reportedly pushing for a fleet of planes to help with these deportations. But the left is continuing to stand in the way of immigration enforcement as an Obama-appointed judge ruled against Trump's efforts to withhold funding from sanctuary jurisdictions. So here's my question for you, Tom. How is the administration, how are they fighting this lawfare, first of all?
Look, we got a great DOJ. We got Pam Bondi head of that, and she's taking it to court. Now, these radical judges are going to continue to stop or try to stop President Trump from, doing what he promised American people, making this country safe again, removing, the public safety threats, the national security threats who are illegal in the United States. They're not going to stop us from doing this. They're going to put roadblocks up. We're going to take them to court. We'll appeal the decisions, and we'll win the decisions because we are enforcing the law. That's what the other side isn't talking about. We're not making this up. We're enforcing the laws enacted by Congress. ICE is out there every day enforcing the laws enacted by Congress, using the money that Congress gave them to do this, upholding the oaths they took. So we're going to continue doing this, and then President Trump's going to he's going to succeed. We're going to have the safest nation we've ever seen by the time his presidency ends. We are arresting thousands of public safety threats and national security threats every week across this country, and by spreading the National Guard, helping DHS on the streets, it's going to happen that much quicker.
Real quick, Tom, the question I have for you, though, is we're talking about the paint job for the border wall. We're talking about our new fleet of airplanes, but the border control, obviously all the progress is doing incredible things. We're at an all-time low of border crossings, but what are we going to do to expand support the existing Border Patrol agents to the next administration? Because while border crossings may be down right now under Trump, we need to make sure that we have a lasting Border Patrol and immigration policy for the next time someone else is in the White House.
And that's exactly why President Trump pressed Congress very hard, along with myself and others like Steve Miller, to pass a big, beautiful bill. There's a lot of money in that to continue building that wall, continue building infrastructure, which includes technology within that wall, which includes the technology within the port of entries. So, legal traffic can come through the port of entries quicker and more efficient while we're still catching the majority of the drugs, and the end game is to catch all the drugs. So all the technology and the big beautiful bill is going to stay. We're building the infrastructure that's going to last for decades, and we're also not only hiring 10,000 ICE officers, we're hiring more Border Patrol agents. So together with the new agents on the ground, the new technology, the new border barriers, we have a sustained presence on the border that's going to last for decades.
Tom, it's Lisa Booth. It's great to see you. I want to get your take on this, sir. So a transgender anti-ICE rioter was arrested on Wednesday in San Francisco and charged with assault and destruction of federal property. This individual allegedly slashed the tires of government vehicles with a knife and threatened ICE agents, reportedly telling one, quote, "I'm going to F you up after I go after your family, and I'm going to stab you." This individual is already back on the streets. Tom, how dangerous is it to be an ICE agent in today's America?
Well, look, it's always been dangerous to be an ICE agent. I mean, I was one for many years. But, with all the hateful rhetoric right now, the attacks on ICE is up over 1,000%. And a lot of the hateful rhetoric from members of Congress, again, members of Congress who wrote a law that needs to be enforced. So, again, if you don't like what ICE is doing, go protest Congress. We're not making this up. We're enforcing laws enacted by Congress that Congress funds us to enforce. We're out there enforcing immigration orders by federal judges. So ICE is out there looking for public safety threats and national security threats. I looked at the numbers just this morning. 70% of everybody we're arresting is a criminal. Who's the other 30%? They're gang members, may not have a criminal history. They're national security threats. Most of them don't have a criminal history because they lay low waiting to do the bad deed. And the rest of them, final orders. These people who had justice at great taxpayer expense, a federal judge said you must leave, and they became a fugitive. We're going to find them. We're going to remove them. We're going to send a message to the whole world. It's not okay to enter this country illegally. It's a crime. It's certainly not okay to ignore a federal judge's order to leave, because the message we're not going to send to the whole world is enter the country illegally. Don't worry about it, even though it's a crime. Show up in court or don't show up in court. Get a final order. Don't worry about it. No one's looking for you. No, the reason we're out there so hard right now, we're sending the whole world a notice that there are consequences. That's part of the reason why we have the most secure border in the nation's history now. The Border Patrol is doing a great job. The infrastructure is great. But it's also the consequences of those who got by, sending them home. That also makes our border more secure.
Tom, real quick, when someone like Governor Tim Walz, calls ICE the Gestapo, what does he really want to happen to them?
It's a ridiculous statement for anybody that tried to run for an office in the White House. It's ridiculous. What I want to tell him and the rest of them, you're not going to stop us. And what happened in San Francisco, you're not going to stop us. You can come out and protest all you want, but if you cross the line, you're going to be prosecuted. I looked at the numbers on Thursday. The numbers of criminal prosecutions for those who impede and interfere are already double of any previous year. And I think we're probably going to triple it by the end of the fiscal year, which ends in another 6 weeks. So you're not going to stop us. We're going to continue doing what the American people voted President Trump in office to do. I wake up every morning proud to work for the greatest president of my lifetime. President Trump proves to the American people every single day why he's the greatest president. Look what he's done to Washington, D.C. Look at the crime dropping in Washington, D.C. He's going to make that the beacon for the entire world. The capital of the strongest and the most beautiful country in the world should be a beacon for everybody. So we're going to make D.C. safe again. We're already doing it. And President Trump's going to take that message across the country. He's going to make America safe again, one illegal alien at a time, one city at a time, one state at a time.
Tom, Gianno Caldwell here. Thank you for keeping us all safe. An Obama-appointed judge is ruling that Alligator Alcatraz cannot add new illegals and must dismantle the facility within 60 days. But Florida has a backup plan, opening another detention center called Deportation Depot. This comes as a surge of new detention facilities in other states, such as Speedway Slammer in Indiana and Cornhusker Clinker in Nebraska. So my question is, Tom, are you concerned about the resistance shutting down other detention facilities for illegals across the country?
Well, I think I appreciate the governor stepping up. We need those beds. I think they're more the soft side facilities, more transition beds. I personally think we need more brick and mortar infrastructure. That's, again, it's going to last for decades. They can't be easily torn down. But I appreciate these governors coming and putting up these temporary structures. Let me tell you something about Alligator Alley. I was there. I mean, I was there because I kept getting asked questions about the inhumane conditions down there. I went there and looked at for myself. I walked through the housing areas. I walked through the medical. I talked to the nurses in the medical. I went to the cafeteria and looked at the food they're preparing from every day. And I talked to the people who kept the books on, the pastors coming in and priests coming in and giving religious meetings to the illegal aliens. Because I was told that wasn't happening. I went down there. I saw a facility that was well built, that was well maintained, very clean, and a high detention standard. So this judge who made this ruling, did they go and look at the facility? They actually walk through and talk to the personnel there? Did he look at there is no danger to the environment because all the waste, all the garbage is removed out of that area every single day? Nothing's dumped there. And they're existing on an airfield that was already built. The concrete was already there. And they're putting up temporary facilities around that. I went there. I didn't see a single problem with it. And I think this judge made a decision without knowing all the facts. I think in the long run, they'll win. They'll have to appeal it. But I went to that facility. I didn't see a single thing wrong with the facility.
Yay,
bank holiday for Maggie.
Holman, thank you for joining us tonight.
I'm going through the chat now. I was preparing some videos.
Thanks, Griff.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch.
I was getting some I was getting some videos prepared behind the scenes, and I didn't see the chat. But bank holiday on Monday. Yay for bank holidays. Oh my god. I didn't see that message, but yeah, I just saw it. Because StreamYard is just weird, so I gotta go with what I got here. Yeah, maybe that baby was that, like, maybe that funeral was for that baby. Who at this point, what is true? What I know is just that baby's just not with us. Let me see. Oh, I love cats. I saw a cat on TV. They were in the news. They were trying to get them adopted, right? It was a 2-year-old boy cat, which automatically I don't want a boy cat because I already know how boy cats are. And he's lovable. He's a good cat and everything. But I got 2 female cats. we're not having fluffy bumping here at this at this apartment here. No, but you could guess what his name was. It was so funny when I realized his name was Tyson. His name was Tyson. I was like, oh my goodness, I was like, Tyson de la Cruz, the little baby cat. Oh my goodness, that's something. Deportation depot. Yeah, we need to deport a lot of people. Oh my god. Maybe Gala. Okay. Yeah, everybody got to feed their babies. I already fed my babies. My babies are going to sleep. They sleep for like a few hours, wake up, they'll hang out with me, and then they'll go back to sleep. And they sleep during the day. They're up pretty much all night, which is wild. Okay, let's go over to this other story here with this Sergio Abrego Garcia, and then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 after that, and then we'll wrap it up. But these are just stories that I just opened up that I would like to watch with you, like together. So you give me 1 second, I'll set them all up. Monday. It's another Monday. I think this Monday is going to be a very interesting Monday. It's going to be very interesting. I also got a video from Jason A that I want us to watch together. He uploaded last night, so I haven't seen it, but we're going to watch it. Okay, so that is... Let me see. Okay. All right, so we're going to go down the line. So we finished that one. All right, we're all set. Let me set the tab up and let's watch together.
This genius speak.
Y oraron y nunca dejaron de creer y luchar por mi libertad.
And this is why I want to thank each and every one of you
as well.
who marched.
Yeah, the babies. This is the time to eat.
And continue to fight in my name.
Who is this?
Gracias a mi pareja de vida.
This is Sergio
Jennifer.
Abrego Garcia.
Mi hermano César. Mi madre Cecilia. Y toda mi familia.
Thank you to my life partner and wife, Jennifer. To my brother, Cesar. To my mother, Cecilia. To my children. To my nieces and nephews. To all of my family.
Who is she?
Gracias a casa, mi segunda casa, a mi sindicato SMART, a todos los pastores, a todas las iglesias, organizaciones y mis equipos legales.
Thank you to Casa, my second home, to my union, SMART, to all of the organizations, all of the faith leaders, all of the partners, and my legal team.
Me he enterado cómo la comunidad me ha apoyado, me ha abrazado con tanto amor y solidaridad.
I have come to know how the community has stood up with so much support.
This is Democrat
with so much
right here.
Y desde el primer día quiero agradecer también a Dios
I don't have pity for him.
que siempre ha estado conmigo y ha estado dando bendiciones a toda mi familia.
I don't have pity
for him. And I also
him.
want to thank God, who has been giving me blessings since day one, to me and to all of my family.
Cuando por fin me reuní con mi familia, esa alegría y todas las emociones quedarán grabadas para el resto de mi vida.
When I was finally able to reunite with my family, all of those emotions, all of those memories will be forever ingrained in me.
Verlos de nuevo me llenó de gratitud y esperanza.
Seeing them again filled me with gratitude and filled me with hope.
Para mí, la felicidad es simplemente
He's being deported this
estar
week.
con mi familia y disfrutar momentos felices con ellos.
To me, happiness is simply being with my family and being able to spend simple memories with them.
Cuando estuve detenido, siempre recordé momentos hermosos con mi familia, momentos de ir al parque, de ir al trampolín con mis hijos.
Oh,
When I was
Lord.
detained,
Are you kidding me?
I remembered memories with my family.
He needs to get his
Going
ass
to the
back
park
to
with
his
them,
country
going
and
to the
take his family
trampoline with
with
my
him.
children.
Esos momentos me darán fuerzas y esperanza
Oh,
para
Lord.
seguir luchando.
Those moments
The
will
cry
continue to
without
give
tears.
me hope to continue in this fight.
A toda la familia también que han sufrido separaciones
This guy's a puppet.
y que viven constantemente por la amenaza de ser separadas. Quiero decirle, aunque la injusticia nos está golpeando duro, no perdamos la fe.
Where's
To
the
all the
tears?
families who have been separated, or to all the families who have been threatened with family separation, this administration has hit us hard.
Oh, now
And
it
I
got
want to tell you guys
political.
something.
Wait a minute, Pocahontas. Give me a second here. This is bullshit. That's bullshit. It really got political, and it's getting even more political. It's this is the Democrats' darling. You know, they pick someone, they use them, they abuse them, and then they get rid of them. Like, if they're not helpful to the Democratic Party and for their narratives, they just push them to the side and push them away and forget about them. This dude over here, if he feels that way about his family and he feels this way about his kids and his wife, then you know what? Take your ass back to El Salvador and take your kids and your wife and your whole generation with you. You don't need to be in the United States. You're not legal. You are illegal. So why are you trying to force your way in, which they don't want you here? So you're going to have to pack your shit and you're going to be leaving this week. So either you're going to go back to the country of your origin, or you're going to go to Uganda in Africa, where you're going to be a tortured slave over there. So, you know, you pick your choice, but the guy is not innocent. He's trying to plead himself innocent. This guy was caught trafficking people. He was trafficking kids. He was trafficking adults. He was trafficking left and right. Okay, but now we want to forget about that, and we're going to pretend that he's a nice guy because he has kids and because he fluffy bumped with this girl that he beats up with every now and then. That it's okay because he had sex with this lady and he had kids, and now I have to feel bad because he had a good time and he popped out like all these kids, and now I'm supposed to be like, yes, please stay because we need more of your seeds here. We need more of your fluffy bumping so we can have more kids here. And like, no, shut the fuck up. That sounds stupid. Like, take your little bastards, take your kid, take your wife that you use as a punching bag, and ship your ass to El Salvador. End the story. Even my camera's going crazy. It's like when I get too like hyped, everything starts going crazy. So I apologize about that, but this guy's a fucking idiot. And the fact that he's trying to go after the Trump administration and blame Trump and blame this. How about blame yourself? You came into this country illegal. We didn't. We were born here, not you. So you got to go. We stay. And then we're going to laugh at you. That's it. End of story. Oh, let's continue watching this travesty of this is a press conference, stupid press conference, but let's continue listening to it because I like the fact that he got emotional and he wanted to cry, but no tears. I wonder. He loves his family so much that he can't even shed a tear for them. Go figure.
Dios está con nosotros. Dios nunca nos dejará. Dios hace justicia a toda la injusticia que han hecho.
God is with us, and God will never leave us. God will bring
He's
justice
reading from a
to all of
paper.
the injustice that we are suffering.
He's reading from a paper. He's reading from a paper. You don't see the like when he's reading, all he's reading is from a paper. Oh my God. You guys don't see it because it's covered by those letters and stuff, but there's a paper that he's reading. the prepared statement that he's reading and that she memorized and that he's repeating, like he's reading it out loud and then she's translating it. But you see her face and how she's like making herself involved, like she's part of the deal, like she's defending him too. Like, I don't get it. But he's reading off a fucking no. It's some chat GPT shit. This is some chat GPT fucking note that was prepared for him, and he's just reading off from that letter. Because every time he starts talking, look at him. He's not looking at the camera like while he's talking to you guys. He's looking down, and he's looking like this. He's looking at the paper, and then he's reading what it says on the paper. And then after he's done reading it, he looks up. Just look at the body language. Listen, and watch. It's a telltale sign. One sec.
Nuestra comunidad nos respalda.
There he goes looking down.
Se va a hacer justicia.
There he goes looking down.
El amor y la familia
There he goes looking down.
triunfará.
With our community
He's looking
by
down.
our side and with our family by our side, love will trump.
Nunca pierdan la esperanza.
Never lose hope.
Volverán a ver a su familia.
You will once again see your family too.
Independientemente de lo que pase hoy,
regardless of what happens here today,
con ICE, prométenme esto.
In my ICE checking, promise me this.
Que seguirán luchando, orando, creyendo en la dignidad y la libertad, no solo para mí, para todos.
Promise me that you will continue to pray, continue to fight, resist, and love, not just for me.
I need to start smoking. I haven't started yet.
Continue to demand freedom. Thank you so much.
Okay, so you're listening to this press conference right before he goes in for his ICE hearing. That's Abrego Garcia. And apparently there's a big crowd out there speaking in Spanish, had to have a translator to pass along his message.
Surrounded by his wife, the former girlfriend that he beat, and his lawyer,
that little crowd,
and some other politicians, at least one member of the House. But you know, Brian, you made a good point earlier about
to be there.
You know, where is Chris Van Hollen now? You'd think that this is
they're off.
Yeah, you think that this is their cause celeb now. So why aren't they? Why isn't he still there supporting him? He had a virtual meeting with him yesterday, apparently, but didn't show up for his big rally. This is the situation where Democrats get themselves into, where they're supporting an illegal alien who has.
Are you kidding me? They look like they're all paid for.
Red flags about criminal activity.
And maybe we should show some of the video of being pulled over on the side of the road with a minivan that's not his, with driving without a license, by the way. And he was full of people who being trafficked, I believe, over to Illinois. Maybe we should bring up some of the statements from his life partner about the 2 times in which he was beaten. And let me ask you, why is it that you come here legally and then suddenly you want to be a sympathetic figure and you don't even want to take the time over the last few years that you've been here to learn English? How motivated are you to be part of America if you can't even speak English 6 or 7 years here? You really have no interest in being here. You're using the country instead of using this as an opportunity. You decide to do illegal activity instead of being a part of society. And for some reason, Democrats find that sympathetic. So he cleaned himself up. They gave him a brand new shirt, and they want you to feel bad for him. I cannot wait to see the shot of him boarding a jet to Uganda. Remember, tray table up until you get in the air 30,000 feet.
18.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here.
I can't wait till they deport his ass and get him out of here. It's just, this is what Democrats do. They like to prop up these individuals and put them like a little show pony. And once that pony, does what he does and gets the audience all riled up, and then once they're done with them, get him out of here. He's done. He's just a puppet. It was just a moment. That's all it was. So we got our medicine. We got our beautiful medicine. Smells good. And I'm going to just light it up because I can't. I can't wait till they get them out. And they're like, yeah, we're sending him to Uganda. Oh, great. He should take his whole generation with him, too. How are you going to be in the United States and not know how to speak English? It's like he had all this time, like a whole year. Like he was in jail and he was going through all this process. How come he couldn't take the time to freaking learn English? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's go ahead and watch another episode here. We're changing subjects, so let's watch.
At 6, a mother and her daughter threatened when she tried to break up with a boyfriend.
He told me that I won't make it to see my birthday.
New tonight, the moment the victim thought she was going to die.
I was just praying. I just started praying to the Lord, like, please save me. Please save us.
What the hell?
Live, local,
what's going on here?
late breaking. This is Channel 2 Action News at 6 p.m. Coverage you can count on.
Thank you for joining us here on Channel 2 Action News at 6. I'm George Estevez.
Good evening. I'm Linda Stouffer. We begin tonight with the story of a mother and daughter worried they might die because of a violent ex-boyfriend accused of firing on their home. A Channel 2 Action News exclusive. A prosecutor says Ring doorbell camera captured a campaign of terror with an arson that gutted the mother's home. Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie is live in downtown Atlanta. Mark, her house was shot up, firebombed even before the fire.
And we're at the Fulton County District Attorney's Office Domestic Violence Division. The Fulton County DA's office says what evidence, photos, and video show in this case underscore that there is a post-pandemic epidemic of domestic violence here.
I'm going to try something new right now.
Still moving on.
Whatever you type, it should show up on the screen.
In the most danger is when they are leaving.
It's Fannie Willis. What Fannie Willis?
This case is a perfect example of that.
I'm a firm believer.
Girl, your eyebrows need help.
Very good willpower, and I'm going to make it.
We know this defendant was hunting her, and that's not uncommon.
I'm almost survived.
Shanice Todd says she believes breaking up with boyfriend Christopher Lewis Anderson in 2021 lit a fire inside of him. A burning desire for revenge that led to an orchestrated campaign of terror that included men firing a barrage of gunshots into her home.
Oh my
God. And attempted firebombing it that same night. And days later, an arson fire that gutted the home, along with nearly all her possessions. And there was more.
This is a case of a person who will not stop.
It's pretty clear that Mr. Anderson was a jilted lover and could not let go of Miss Todd, and thus he tried to hunt her down and harm her.
Fulton County Assistant District Attorney Celeste Patton says she and Senior Assistant District Attorney Travis Thomas prosecuted Anderson in his recent trial. And lead prosecutor Thomas showed the jury Ring video of Anderson as he started to rip out Ms. Todd's Ring video doorbell July 12th, 2021. And on August 7th, 2021, Anderson texted Ms. Todd, quote, "You won't see your B-Day," unquote, referring to her birthday just weeks away.
Wow, that's a threat.
September 4th, her new Ring doorbell captures people coming into her yard about 12 o'clock at night and shooting up her house and throwing Molotov cocktails through the house.
Ms. Todd says her house where she and her 15-year-old daughter had been sleeping was riddled with bullet holes, and she put out a fire started by one of the Molotov cocktails.
I was just praying. I just started praying to the Lord, like, please save me. Please save us. I was just praying.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah. He saved us because it's fortunate that I'm here talking to you right now.
The daughter's headboard had some bullet holes over it.
DA Fonnie Willis.
She had to leave her home.
She needs to leave government.
Would be safe.
Prosecutor Patton says September 9th Ring video captured the early moments of a fire that virtually destroyed the house where Ms. Todd and her daughter had lived, but they had moved out for safety. And late last month, the jury convicted Anderson of a list of crimes, and a judge sentenced him to 60 years in prison, followed by 25 on probation. Prosecutor Thomas says the judge sentenced Anderson as a recidivist partly because of a 2006 arson first-degree conviction for setting fire to a bed in the apartment of another ex-girlfriend. Thomas says a 2006 police report indicated Anderson texted someone, "If I were you, I would keep that hoe from where you stay because you would get all of y'all murdered." Ms. Todd says she works hard but still struggles financially, getting by through faith and family.
I'm a child of God.
Now, documents indicate Anderson was found not guilty of use of firearm by a convicted felon during commission of crime and a similar charge, and that a motion for a new trial has been filed. A spokesman emailed the Fulton County Public Defender's Office, zealously represented Mr. Anderson at trial, and though he did not prevail, we will continue to fight for him in navigating the post-trial processes. Reporting live at the DA's office, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.
I hope she feels safer tonight. She is brave to speak out. Mark, thank you. We have more details now on domestic violence in Georgia. The Georgia Commission on Family Violence says in 2023, more than 129,000 adults and more than 17,000 children were victims of family violence in Georgia.
Oh, my God.
More than 163 deaths in our state related
Oh,
to
my God.
domestic violence. Firearms were involved in 80% of those fatalities, and domestic violence disproportionately impacts Black women. They experience the most family violence nationwide, and Georgia leads the nation in the rate at which Black women experience violence. And there is help.
How about white
available. Very
women?
important. The Georgia Commission on Family Violence has legal assistance and resources in Clayton, Cobb, DeKalb, Fulton, and Gwinnett counties. Here is the phone number. I'm going to read it. You can also see it on your screen. 833-GLSP LAW, GLSP law.
Okay, that's wild. That's really wild. But why they give the statistics only to Black women? How come they can't put all races? It could be Spanish, it could be like white, it could be any type. Like crime is crime. It doesn't matter. Crime doesn't like pertain to a certain color. Like when you think of crime, you just don't think Black. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like crime is crime, and all data should be gathered and shared with the public, the proper data. And the fact that Georgia's a shithole, I can't believe that Fulton County still have not gotten rid of Fannie Willis, and that just shows the corruption of the Democratic Party. They don't care. They never did. So let's go ahead and check out some more news here. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's check this one out.
Districts must comply with Title IX protections or lose federal funding. 8 jurisdictions are now under investigation for violating it, while 5 school districts in Virginia have already been accused of violating it. Its Lieutenant Governor Wilson Earl Sears spoke at an Arlington School Board district meeting to address the violations, where she was met with protest. One activist held a sign reading, quote, "If trans kids can't share your bathroom, then Blacks can't share my water fountain."
What has to do with the Blacks?
Blasting the so-called tolerant.
Why are they doing that?
They equated bathroom opportunities with me being Black in America.
What?
And here I am, second in command of the former capital of the Confederacy. Me, the immigrant, whom they say, as Democrats, they love more than anybody. Me, a Black woman who they say they love as Democrats more than anybody. This is insane.
Wow. You know, as a Black conservative, I've experienced the racism from the left many, many occasions. And we can get off air tonight and look at the comments on my social media. They blast me regularly. Seeing this, Griff, what is your take on this? Because we're not going to see this in mainstream media all over what the left is doing.
You know, I think it's one of those issues again, Jono, that falls in this 80-20 category. You know, it's really like the border, like cracking down on crime, as opposed to letting violent criminals run loose or let soft on crime policies continue to escalate crimes in your city. Parents don't want these transgender kids in bathrooms. They don't want biological males in women's sports or biological males in girls' bathrooms. And that's why you're seeing this crackdown. And I think that, you know, even before President Trump's administration started cracking down, Governor Glenn Youngkin really rode into office in Virginia by being a strong parents' rights advocate. And that's why you're seeing in the case of what Winsome Earl Sears is targeting is what's happening in Loudoun County. And it's as clear as day. And parents across the country see what's happening there, and they don't want that in their city. And what the president's trying to do is say, look, if you're not going to abide by Title IX, then we're going to take your funding away.
That's right. So I'm a Virginian and from Northern Virginia. And so to your point, Griff, I feel like we're having deja vu going back to the 2021 gubernatorial election. You had Glenn Youngkin at the time against Terry McAuliffe. I think he was down about like 5 points around this time. Winston Sears is down by 7 against Democrat Abigail Spanberger. And parental rights became the predominant issue. It was that September 2021 debate when Terry McAuliffe basically said that parents don't really have a right, in what their teachers teach their kids. And then there was this uproar. And he capitalized off of that and then rode that wave into victory. And then now you have Winsome Sears with this transgender issue, capitalizing off of it, capitalizing off of parental rights, standing up for parents. And then you have had a lot of issues in the Northern Virginia, particularly in the Loudoun County area. And you had these 2 boys recently suspended because a girl went into the boys' bathroom, videotaped them, and they dared to ask her questions about, like, why are you in here?
Exactly.
And the boys were on, right? So you've had a lot of these issues, or you had the, a few years ago, you had the boy wearing the skirt who raped the girl at Stonebridge High School. So you've had a lot of these issues dominating that area. And so it'll be interesting if Winsome Sears ends up victorious, just like Glenn Youngkin was, based off of this issue.
Dr. Sapphire, we've seen a lot of medical associations, if you will. We saw it in the UK where they're pulling back on the transgender surgeries for youth. Why is it that we're seeing schools in the U.S. continue to push this ideology onto students everywhere?
Well, I mean, it really is all politics, and it's unfortunate. Title IX has been around for 50 years. It's always been a pillar of fairness. I'm a product of it because not just girls in sports came out of it, but also women in academics came out of it as well. And legislation that was once there to protect women is now completely diluted because of the changes from the Biden administration. That the reason why that sign was so ridiculous, talking about the trans and black, white, I mean, going back, it just took us back so far.
It did.
Your skin color versus my skin color, that is settled science. What is behind this trans movement is not settled science. This is a matter of an opinion, and this is a culture war. And what is happening with these schools right now, if they are in this culture war, and not only are they hurting the girls that they are wanting to protect, but also all children are going to suffer if this funding is taken away. So it would behoove the schools, if they care about the children, to do what they can to make sure that their funding is there and also protect your girls and not just wage yourself into this cultural war and part of this movement, because this movement is going to be very short-lived. And just like we saw with a lot of other things, with the other countries that are rolling back all of these trans policies and the surgeries and recognizing that it is a form of, sometimes it is a form of mental illness and genital mutilation, the United States eventually is going to get there. We just tend to be behind.
Well, there it is.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News
like
YouTube.
I wrote in the chat, women aren't respected anymore. It's like, what happened to the respect? What happened to respect one another? When I was brought up, I was always brought up to respect women, but nowadays it's like the question, what is a woman? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's why I'm in this planet over here. I'm in this planet and I feel more at home here than I do in Earth. Earth is somewhere out that way, like way off beyond that way. I don't want to go to it right now. I just want to stay here. It's very peaceful here. We don't have no Starbucks here. I don't drink coffee, so go figure. I never drink coffee. When I was younger, when I worked, I drank some coffee. They used to give me the little shot of black coffee, which was like, to me, that was like, it was like a no dose. It was like a shot of no dose because that thing had so much sugar in it. And with the coffee, it was like you turn into Popeye. You're like, after you drink just one little cup, not even a cup, a little shot. And then you take that little shot, you kick it back. Sometimes we would take two of them. We would take two shots. We were hyped the whole night. We were like, get everything done, get the fuck out the way. Working the emergency room. It was very busy. You know, it was like it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. But we used to drink our shot of coffee, and we would do, everybody would alternate, like between the nurses and the staff. We would just all alternate who goes to get the coffee for the night. So I used to work in the morgue. They're like, "Man, let's call Rick. Let's go send him to get coffee." I had to go get it. I was like, "Shit, hell yeah, I could use a shot of coffee." But I only used it when I worked. I never, like, home and stuff. I don't drink coffee like that. I don't remember I think the last time I drank coffee, my goodness, maybe over 20 years. Like a coffee. I mean, yeah, it must have been almost like possibly maybe between 15 and 20 years, easy, because I don't drink coffee. I haven't. I know in the past 15 years, I haven't drank coffee. So that's why I put that mark at 15. Now, where's the high part of it? It could be anywhere between that 20 and 15 years since I last had coffee. It's just, and not even a sip, nothing, no coffee. Let's go to the next story, and where we're gonna go. Yeah, let's see. I want to continue with news. I do. I got two here. I got one about the DC and the arrests that they made in DC, and then I also have a Ukraine one here that marks Independence Day with major strike. So I think I'm going to go first with the Ukraine just to get that out the way, and then go to this breaking, and then I have the Jason A that we're going to watch towards the end. So I just want to get I want to see it with us because I haven't seen it. So you're going to watch it with me. Let's go.
Now to Ukraine, marking its Independence Day with drone strikes deep inside Russia. Video circulating online showing this explosion at an oil and gas facility. It comes as U.S.-led peace talks have stalled. Russia's top diplomat saying no meeting is planned between President Vladimir Putin and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky. Here's ABC's Marcus Moore.
As the country marks 34 years of its independence from the Soviet Union, the Ukrainian military launching what they're calling a gift for Russia.
Yeah, 1 in the morning. Yeah, that's
video circulating online showing a massive Ukrainian drone attack targeting an oil and gas processing facility deep inside Russia. Moscow says it shot down 95 drones across multiple regions overnight, but debris from one intercept causing this explosion. These attacks on key Russian facilities come as ceasefire talks remain largely stalled. Vice President J.D. Vance optimistic after a flurry of high-stakes negotiations this week.
I think the Russians have made significant concessions to President Trump for the first time in 3.5 years of this conflict.
One demand out of reach, a summit between Putin and Zelensky. After the president announced they'd meet face-to-face, Russia's foreign minister saying tonight nothing is planned.
Putin is ready to meet with Zelensky when the agenda would be ready for a summit. And this agenda is not ready at all.
Ukraine and Russia remain defiant, keeping any deal elusive. European leaders and President Trump showering Ukraine with support as this war rages on 3.5 years later. And just hours ago, word that Ukraine and Russia had agreed to another prisoner exchange. A moment of relief for families of those reunited, and some consensus in this war.
Mary, President Trump has set a 2-week deadline for a deal between these two countries and has indicated that new sanctions could be on the table. And that is something Ukraine has been requesting for some time. Mary.
The president has been threatening those sanctions. We'll see what happens in 2 weeks. Marcus, thank you.
Okay. They should just go to war. Go World War III. Just fuck it. You know what I mean? At this point, fuck it. I mean, they're not gonna stop fighting. This is gonna be like another Israel, like forever wars with them. And nobody's talking about what's going on with Israel and Gaza. That's been really, really bad over there. And Israel has been putting a pounding on Gaza, and a lot of people are dying. And yet, the world is quiet about it. It's like, yeah, they can continue doing what they're doing. Let's focus on this Ukraine bullshit because, Ukraine is just, I don't know, they're just so needy. And the fact they went on the offense, because they went on an offense on their Independence Day, so they went and attacked Iran. I mean, they attacked Russia. Iran. Imagine they go and attack Iran. Well, that's still a funny situation over there. That's another headache it's going to be developing, because I think Iran is setting up for something big to happen. But what's going on with Ukraine and Russia? Like, I don't know. It's something that it's like, I don't trust the government. I don't trust Ukraine's government. I don't trust Zelensky. I think he's just the main puppet of what the Europeans want to have there, because I feel like the Europeans wants to take over more of Ukraine. And I think Russia was like, I don't think so. And that's why Ukraine wants to bring in peacekeepers and U.S. troops and bring in certain individuals that they know if they were to attack, that the world will come after. Ukraine is very slick. They listen. They are so corrupt, and the fact that Zelensky is like forever president during this kind of conflict is stupid. It's like to suspend the presidency, like for elections. We're suspending our elections, and I'm gonna be president indefinite. So indefinite presidency. Thank you, phone. I put you on silent, and you're still making sounds. Come on. So he's an indefinite president, and I know Zelensky. He doesn't want to leave. He wants all this attention. He's getting paid. He's getting money. He's all this money that the U.S. is sending. He's not using it all for weapons and everything. No, yeah, he's using part of it for weapons, but the rest of it, he's financing his government. He's financing the schools. He's financing the police. He's financing all the goods and foods and things that he needs for his country on our dime that the United States is paying for, and also Europe. You guys are going to be taking up a lot of that tab, because there's going to come a time where Trump is going to be like, fuck this shit, no more money, no more supplies, we're just not going to do it no more, because they're not coming to peace. They're just continuing their battle no matter what. So why are we going to stick our nose in something that is not our problem or business? And it's funny how they come running to the U.S. for help, but then when the U.S. needs help, ain't nobody around. So they just need to just get a resolve, stop the killing, like Trump said, and come to some kind of agreement. And that's it. And restart the elections for Ukraine so we could get a new person in there, because the person that you have right now, he's not the one. He's not the golden child. He's not the golden goose. He is the right one that's going to go down that chute. Yeah, that's a reference from Willy Wonka. I like Willy Wonka. Who doesn't? Who doesn't like Willy Wonka? It's one of my favorite movies. The original. Okay? Not this crazy reboots that they've been doing and so forth. I mean, they're pretty cool and all. but it's I like the original. I'm sorry, it's just I'm very old school. Okay, so let's go to this next news here, and then we're gonna watch Jason A.
What's happening with the crackdown in D.C. crime. And we see the huge presence of the National Guard. 4 or 5 states have put their National Guard members
Have a
into
good
the more
sleep,
high-trafficked areas,
Chloe.
allowing the cops to go into the more challenging areas and make some big-time arrests. Look at these totals.
Yeah, look at the numbers. Over 910 total arrests. This is just since August 7th. 5 known gang members, MS-13 members, 101 firearms have been seized and taken off the streets. 49 homeless encampments have been cleared away.
And Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is very upset about this.
Why? Why would he be upset?
Because he's worried about tyranny, he says. And so all the talk of Trump sending the National Guard to Chicago, and this is what he had to say.
Well, again, you know, the city of Chicago does not need a military occupied state. That's not who we are. Here's the bottom line. They don't have police power. There's nothing they can do. You know, these are federal troops. They do not go through the training that our police officers go through. So they cannot even.
Your police officers ain't doing shit.
Authority. We're not going to surrender.
That's the
our humanity
problem.
to this tyrant. I can tell you this. The city of Chicago has a long history of standing up against tyranny, resisting those who wish to undermine the interests of working people. We're not going to back down. We're not going to cower. We're not going to bend. We're not going to break. We are Chicago. We are the soul of America, and we will maintain that posture from now until.
Okay, I had to pause it. This guy's a fucking idiot, right? To him, what is America? Because the last time I checked, we were the United States of America. Okay? I don't think he understands the united part. He don't understand the united part. Fine. He's talking about his police, that the federal agent don't know how to be police, and they don't have the authority and all this bullshit that Brand this idiot. I can't. Look how much people have been arrested. Over 910 plus. 5 of them were MS-13s. Are you kidding me? 101 weapons were seized. These are illegally owned and carrying. These people were carrying these weapons with them. And yet, Chicago is like a war zone with all these gangs and all these killings and people dying like crazy in Chicago. And they're not doing anything about it. Their police, where's their police? The police, they can't even handle what's going on now. They can't handle it. They know they can't handle it. It's like, hello, look at your numbers and with your police. And your police ain't doing much of anything. So let's bring in the National Guard and we're going to deputize them as police officers and we send them out. And they're going to do the job to help back up the police force. Who in the right, like in that mind of this guy, like I don't understand how he thinks. How can he say we don't need them here? We're the backbone. What is it? We're the soul of America. We're the backbone of America or whatever. Excuse me. America is a United States. Okay, where we all are in it together, not little separate countries throughout the United States that are independent. Like we're not independent. We celebrate Independence Day, but they're taking it a different way. They're trying to be independent from America and try to run their own little community into the ground. You know, and then the fact that they're going to the federal government and be like, please, more money, sir. More money. We need more money. And then you guys are not doing anything to combat the crimes and the drugs and all the craziness that going on, all the murders, all the assaults. Like it's just wild in Chicago. It's just a wild city. That's why it's called the Windy City. It's just very windy and wild. I can't. So let's go back to the story and let's continue watching. It's just this guy just really pisses me off.
You can have all kinds of debates, constitutional debates, all kinds of debates about sending federal troops into cities like this. But to worry about tyranny and not be concerned about the tyranny of lawlessness and the tyranny of crime that all of his residents live under right now.
I just don't understand why they wouldn't want to clean up these cities. I mean, D.C. needed to be cleaned up, and it looks like it has been.
Over 200 people were killed in the past year, and he's beating his chest saying, oh, isn't this great?
93 arrests on Saturday, and out of those, 46 were illegal aliens, and that's in D.C. But fine, you don't want them, send them to New York, please. Please, Donald Trump, send them here, clean up these streets.
Right.
I welcome it.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who goes to Chicago and says, this is the soul of America. They go to Chicago and go, this city used to be great.
Right.
And our mayor is so terrible. He's got, I believe, I was just looking it up, he's got 26% approval rating. That's pretty horrendous. That's so awful. It's hard to imagine. In a huge Democratic city that put him in office, they are predominantly beside themselves with this ineptness. So President Trump's going to come in, and it's going to be a hostile situation. I kind of feel bad for the National Guard because they're going to get some pushback. But, you know, I bet you the cops on the street will love it. So I just think now, I know the Secretary of Defense allowed the National Guard to carry guns in D.C. now. So I hope they were able to defend themselves and are not targeted in Chicago because it's extremely dangerous. In Maryland, Wes Moore challenged President Trump to walk the streets with him. And Trump basically says, watch your mouth. Clean up your city, and don't worry about me walking through the city. And when Wes Moore goes out there and talks about how great Baltimore is, you might think things are heading in the right direction. That's what you say. You don't say Baltimore is a city that is not ridden and overrun with crime and looks like the city that was once great but isn't anymore.
And you know what's kind of interesting about every single one of the, whether it's Brandon Johnson or Wes Moore, they complain about everything that Donald Trump is doing, but their party and their policies have governed those cities for decades.
By the way, the president today, executive order, getting rid of cashless bail.
Yes.
In places
Front
like
page
that.
of the Post.
And they're going to sue
How
back.
great is
and we're going
that?
to bring this forward.
Bail and farewell.
And my question is, if you don't like the idea of what Trump is doing, name for me one single solution, one single idea that is going to be different, that is going to change the situation. And nobody has.
Well, people in Maryland and Baltimore, they can't sell their houses. Remember we talked about this a few weeks ago. There was an article. They interviewed residents who used to live in really thriving neighborhoods, beautiful neighborhoods. Kids could go outside. They could have picnics outside. They could sit on their front porches, and the people can't sell their houses because right across the street were people selling drugs.
Right. And by the way, they had a panel on ABC talking about D.C. crime, and it's always teens to lean left. Not this time. Rachel Bade said, no, it's really bad. I left the city because they broke into my car one time too many. So it's people that live in D.C., even if they don't vote for Trump, are saying, I cannot sit here with a straight face and tell you there's not a crime problem.
Well, we will have a familiar face to you, U.S. Attorney for D.C., Jeanine Pirro, up at 8:20 this morning.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the
That's just wild. Chicago's wild. Chicago's out of hand. Actually got a couple of more news feeds here. Bear with me. We're gonna check out some stories that are just coming out because the morning is always a busy time. That's why news is always busy in the morning. It's always like it's crazy. It's oh my goodness. Let me just set this up here. Okay, here we go. This set is up. Oh boy. I hope you guys are having a good start to your week. I know Chloe went to night-night. Night-night. It's okay. It's nice to sleep in the early mornings. I sometimes do that, and it takes up all my morning. but it's nice. But let's check out this breaking news right now. This is about the Abreu Garcia. This is let's check this out.
Free Kilmer! Free Kilmer! Free Kilmer!
What the hell is this?
Good morning. My name is Simon Sandoval Moschenberg. I'm a partner at the immigration law firm. Good morning. My name is Simon Sandoval Moschenberg. I'm a partner at the immigration law firm of Murray Osorio PLLC in Maryland, Virginia, and New Jersey, and one of the many attorneys in the legal team that's been representing.
Hold on. I'm sorry, I had to pause it. Who is this Hamburglar? Who is this? Because Grimace is reserved for Letitia James. This one looks like Hamburglar. Who is the hell is this Hamburglar here? Who is this handler? Like what? Like this? I've been seeing her a lot lately, and like, who is the hell is this Hamburglar? All right, so let's continue on with the ICE detained Kilmer Abrego Garcia. So he didn't have so much freedom here in the United States because now he's under ICE custody.
Kilmer Abrego Garcia. Mr. Abrego Garcia was taken into custody by ICE this morning.
Oh, that garden. That garden is so peaceful too. Enjoy it. I wonder if the bumblebees are out today.
As he was leaving the jail in Tennessee on Friday, he'd been given a notice requiring him to check in at 8 a.m. this morning. The notice stated that the reason was interview. Clearly that was false. There was no need for them to take him into ICE detention. He was already on electronic monitoring from the U.S. Marshal Service
He's loud
and
as
basically
hell.
on house arrest. The only reason that they've chosen to take him into detention is to punish him. To punish him for exercising his constitutional rights. His constitutional right to fight back against being illegally deported to El Salvador. His constitutional right to speak up through his court filings on the torture and treatment that he received in El Salvador at the direct request of our government.
Trumps all of it. He came into the country illegally.
Not to allow his arm to be twisted to take a guilty plea if he doesn't want to. His constitutional right to exercise
Okay, you better
his
pay
right to a
attention
jury
to this.
trial
It's gonna
on
happen
his
to
criminal
y'all.
proceedings if he so chooses, and his constitutional right and his right under the Bail
I'll
Reform
protect
Act
the
to leave the
illegals
prison
so
and come
much.
home to his family. He's being punished for exercising those rights.
Oh, I love the sunflowers. Oh, it's so
We
pretty.
asked the ICE officer what the reason for his detention was. The ICE officer didn't answer. The ICE officer stated that he'll be taken to a detention center. We asked the ICE officer which detention center. The ICE officer said that they weren't able to say. We asked the ICE officer for a copy of any paperwork that's being served on him today. The ICE officer wouldn't commit to even giving us that paperwork. In the last 5 minutes, Mr. Abrego Garcia has filed a new lawsuit in the Federal District Court for the District of Maryland.
Oh, they clapped for the lawsuit, right?
Challenging his current confinement and challenging deportation to Uganda or to any other country unless and until he's had a fair trial in an
Another
immigration
trial?
court, as well as his full appeal rights.
He is guilty, so
In
why are you
2019,
someone that's
Mr.
illegal?
Abrego Garcia had a full trial. It lasted over 2 days in this building behind me. And the result of that trial was that the judge entered an order that he could not be deported to El Salvador. That order was not even appealed by the government. If they want to deport him to any other country, they need to go through that exact same process. Unless and until they have gone through that process, they do not have the right to put him on an airplane. And that's what we're going to be asking the district court to ensure, that he is not put on any flight to any country whatsoever, whether it's Uganda, South Sudan, what have you, unless and until he has had a full and fair trial in an immigration court, as well as his full appeal rights.
He came in
So he's
illegal.
filed a lawsuit seeking to ensure that he is not removed from the United States pending his immigration proceedings.
He committed crimes here.
We'll certainly be advising you as to the progress of that lawsuit.
Illegally.
The courthouse isn't even
How
open
does
for
that
the day
make
yet.
that right? And how does that make
But other than
him
that,
okay to stay here in the United States?
His family was,
He does
and he
not
was
belong
exceedingly
here.
grateful to see the tremendous amount of support today and over the weekend.
This is stupid.
This is a person who didn't even know
This
that
is how the Democrats
he had
run their
anyone
gaslighting.
looking out for
This
him,
is all
much less the
gaslighting.
entire nation
The
for the
definition
3
of
months that he was
gaslighting.
detained in El Salvador. This is a person who, feared that the world had forgotten about him. And so you can imagine how much it filled his heart to learn that not only was it not true that the world had forgotten about him, but that the whole world was behind him and was
We're not behind him.
Marching
The
and
whole
raising their
world
voices
behind
and raising
him.
their
We're
fists
not behind
to support him.
we're not.
Has filled
Don't
his
talk to
heart
me.
throughout these
You
past
don't have
months.
the right to talk for me. Like, no.
Let me repeat that in Spanish. El día de hoy, Gilmar Abrego García fue detenido por ICE.
No, I'm not doing the Spanish shit. I'm sorry. They're gonna sit here with the Spanish. Like, no. Let's see where they're at here.
Sabemos ni en cuál estado va a ser.
Okay, look at all the people. Look, the yellow vests. Huh? What's that yellow vest reminds you of? Oh, Maggie. Didn't you guys have like a yellow vest movement over in UK? Huh. Mm-hmm. You know what? Because the rest is going to be in Spanish, we're going to do it my way. We're just going to go right through it. Oh, here she comes to talk. Oh, Hamburglar. Give me like let's listen into Hamburglar. She better not be talking in Spanish. Let's see.
Compañeros,
No, I'm sorry. Nah, she's not doing it in English. I'm not listening to her shit. Hold on.
en el país que
Yeah, no. Listen to her for a little bit.
llamamos hogar. And why do I tell you to kneel? Because we cannot continue to stand in a country where we call our home and we see our people being inhumanely tortured. As you kneel and reflect on what happened to Kilmar today, I want you to put your left fist in the air and remember the promise that you made him before he walked into the courtroom.
Promise.
Mientras estás en una rodilla, quiero que pongas un puño izquierdo al aire y firmemente reflexiones y recuerdas la promesa que le hiciste a Kilmar antes que entró a ICE.
They need to be all what they do for
ICE
work.
officials ripped him away
It's
from his
Monday.
family.
Give me a second. Hold on. They could keep their fisting. I don't know what they're fisting. That's a sign. Maybe that's what they're doing to him in jail. So he's getting the fisting in jail. So here, Gabriel, like here's some moving fists. Why are they continuing to protect this individual? Like all the bad things he has done, and the main bad thing is right here from the very beginning. And what's that? He entered the country illegally. He is in this country illegally. So this is where we're at. All this is all extra. Why are we protecting the extra? We're here. He entered illegally. He does not belong in this country. He has to be deported. How hard is that? Why spend so much money, time, and energy, and it's all waste? We are stuck here in the beginning. He crossed over. He crossed over from Mexico to United States illegally. He's here illegally. Why? Why are we? Oh, we gotta protect them. Let's put some fist up in the air and give them a reminder what you're getting in jail, and you're gonna get more. But this time it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be all moving, and we're gonna be twirling it. Like, and you see how they're all on their knees because they gotta get low. They gotta get low on their knees and they gotta go and give it to him. Remember that promise you gave him, right? Right before he went to jail? Give him the promise. My God. Or he needs to be sent out of here already. He needs to be out of here. I don't support all this theater, because that's what it is. It's all theater that's going on. These people, like, I have a question. Do the people you see right here, do they have a job? I mean, it's Monday. It's 9:20 a.m. Do these people have work to go to, or this is their job that they're getting paid for to do this? Because I see a lot of red casa shirts. So this is a paid organization. These are paid protesters that are there that you see in your screen. The evidence is right in front of you. They have the red shirt that says CASA, CASA. Like, there's your evidence. This is paid protesters, and they got their fists ready to give it to Abrego. Give it to him. Give it to him. Like this, all the power in the world. Give it to him. But homie's not gonna be here for long. Yeah. Oh, but if you're gonna send them to Uganda, then we have to have a new trial and more trials. Makes more money, waste more time, waste a lot of energy, waste the judge's time, the attorneys. You gotta understand, this is all wasting of energy and resources for someone that got here from the fucking beginning illegally. Why are we protecting, his children, his wife? Did he have children and wife before he came in illegally or after? Because from what I know, it was after he entered here. Okay? So how does him entering illegally, like how does the children and all this stuff trumps him from his first crime he ever committed, which is entering the country illegal? And now we have to have all this courts and all this traveling around in jets and transportation, and that causes more fossil fuel. That's not good for the environment. But we're gonna keep our fists in Abreu, and we're gonna keep it like that. God, help me. Does it get any better? Does it get any better? No, I'm rooting for the asteroid. I am rooting for the asteroid. Here's another. I don't want to hear them anymore because it's gonna give me a headache. But we could take a little like still shots here of what's happening there. Everyone still had their little fists in the air. But you see all these red shirts, you see all these yellow vests, they all work for this organization. All these people are all part of it. You know, they're all part of this organization. And, you have your of course, you got to have black people holding up their fists and holding a banner. Like, let me tell you something, and this is my breaking news, okay? Black people weren't the only ones being slaved. Your own people sold you for slavery. Yeah, it's your own black people, Africa. Yeah, they sold you, guys and gals. How is that a white man's fault? Oh, because the white man bought the slaves? Yeah, but who sold it? You have to have a beginning. Okay, you can't just blame the white people because they bought you. No, we got to start from the beginning where your black people sold you. Why are you not mad about that? Go to Africa and be all mad over there. because they sold y'all to slavery. I don't know. Common sense. People just stuck on the residue of the past, and then they want to embed it into themselves, and then have this sense of entitlement, and have this sense of, oh, my ancestors were slaves and this and that. Bitch, my ancestors too were slaves too. So what? And I'm Puerto Rican. It's not only about Africa. It's not only about, like, there's been slavery all over this world for a long time. Like, get off of that shit, man. You're wasting time and energy. That's all it is. It's fucking wasting time and energy. I'm rooting for the fucking asteroid. The asteroid that's somewhere, I want to say it's somewhere around that way. There's an asteroid that's coming towards Earth. So it's gonna go from here and it's gonna cross and it's gonna go to Earth and it's gonna, like, fuck them up. Like, we don't deserve it here. We don't deserve it. I mean, we were born and then we die. And my biggest fear is death, because I don't really know how to die. That's my fear. I just don't know how to die. And I just feel, that's just how I feel, It's very scary. It's very scary. So let's go back to Hamburglar here, and then let's move it up a little bit, and let's see if they still keep their fists up in the air. Oh, she has it up in the air again. Look, she put it back up again. I wonder who she is and what does she like. This is what she makes money off of others that contribute donations to this cause. I mean, don't these people have daytime jobs? I mean, they gotta have daytime jobs. Let me see. I guess the attorney is. I guess that's an attorney. I'm not sure. Well, we could go from here and then listen, because I don't want to listen to her. She's just. I don't want to listen. But let's listen to this guy.
Happy to take any questions.
The administration had offered a plea deal. Has that been rejected? Is that off the table? And what has they suggested could happen next in terms of a potential deportation to Uganda?
So I don't represent him in his criminal matters. Whether the plea deal is off the table or not, you'd have to address that to his criminal defense attorney. But the fact that they're holding, Costa Rica as a carrot and using Uganda as a stick to try to coerce him to plead guilty to a crime is such clear evidence that they're weaponizing the immigration system in a manner that is completely unconstitutional, and specifically weaponizing the decision of which country they send him to. If their stated goal is to get him out of the country as quickly as possible, there's already a country that has offered him refugee status, that has committed itself not to redeport him to El Salvador, and that he has stated that he is willing to accept, right? Instead, they're going to play games with his life and keep him detained for, God knows how long, to fight a fight over whether he can be deported to Uganda or not. So, they didn't get what they wanted, which is to keep him locked up in Tennessee under criminal proceedings. And so instead, they've designated removal to a country that they know that he's going to oppose. They know that he's going to ask for legal proceedings against deportation to Uganda, right? It really is very clear that the government is far more interested in throwing around their weight and demonstrating what they think is their power to do whatever they want, whenever they want, to whoever they want. That's clearly far more important to them than any particular outcome in this case.
Is Costa Rica still an option?
As was explained in the filing in the Tennessee case on Saturday morning, Mr. Abrego Garcia stated that he was willing to accept refugee status in Costa Rica. Que tal como se dijo en el expediente que se sometió el sábado en el caso criminal, el señor Abrego García ya afirmó que está dispuesto de aceptar la oferta de estatus refugiado en Costa Rica. Pero el hecho de que están utilizando la amenaza de deportarlo a África, a Uganda, a donde sea, y que lo van a querer mantener detenido bajo condiciones terribles de los centros de detención de ICE, mientras él pelea en contra de esto, mientras hay una opción de llevarlo, si lo que quieren es sacarlo del país, eso pueden efectuar mañana a Costa Rica. Pero eso hace muy claro de que están utilizando el sistema migratorio y la detención de ICE para castigarlo de una manera que no pudieron hacer en Tennessee.
Pero este que habla español, yo puedo hablar español también, pero yo respeto a la gente de América y del mundo, so yo no voy aquí hablando en español si la gente no entiende. Okay, you see, I am bilingual, so like I said, I'm not going to sit here and speak Spanish and offend American people and people from around the world. Like, we're in America. English is the dominant language, but they want to speak Espanol, and like, okay, I know Spanish. I'm very fluent in Spanish, but I'm just not going to bust out speaking Spanish. It's just disrespectful. If I was doing a Spanish show, then, this would be like Telemundo. I could do Telemundo, but I'm not doing that, Surprisingly, she cried. Oh, I like what is this? Sheer of elementary hit me unexpectedly. Yeah, I know. It's they're gonna start growing up fast, and they're gonna be like, hopefully stay focused with the school and schoolwork and keep them motivated into learning. It's very important that these children that we can monitor over actually get the proper education. Like, I can't wait for my niece to start. She's already in preschool right now, and she's 4 years old. So next year it's elementary school. And she's going to kindergarten, and I'm gonna be very supportive. So I'm in charge of buying her shoes and her supplies. I always send supplies. I always send stuff. So she knows she has a sponsor. So, and I will be making sure she's properly educated, so that way things will be a lot easier for her in the future. Maybe down the line, if I'm alive, she'll probably be somewhere by my side. She'll be part of the show. She'll be like, hey. I'm like, yeah, that's the one. That's her. But she's little. She's only 4 right now. So I listen, I got a long way ahead of me, because that's, shoes are not cheap, clothes are not cheap, supplies are not cheap. You know this. Everyone knows this. Everything's getting more expensive. So if I can help my sister and support and help, minimize the finances of raising a child, then it's a win-win for all of us. And I know I'm the best uncle. I'm the best. All right, so we're going to watch this next one. This one's going to be interesting, okay? So I want us to all pay attention and focus on this. It's going to probably make you think. Let me see. Well, my youngest started behind her all in their late 30s, and now it doesn't getting easier. Yeah, it doesn't get easier. It doesn't. Aww. Wow. Well, I hope he'd be successful in anything and everything he does, and I hope everything goes well for him this school year. Because this school year, we got to keep an eye on the little ones, because the teachers, they're in it with their agendas and so forth, and you drop off your child and you drop it off basically to a stranger, even though they want to classify them as teachers and give them a title. To me, they're still strangers. And not everyone gets along with strangers. I didn't get along with strangers. Some of my teachers were really creepy, like really fucking creepy. And I don't even know how they were teachers, So make sure you meet his teacher, and make sure she's a sane person, a person with knowledge, a person that's not going to influence your child in a negative way. Like, hopefully she's a loving teacher and a caring teacher. It's just got to be careful with teachers, because not all teachers are equal or the same. So bless, I had that with my grandchildren. Yeah, Maggie, you went through 2 cycles, Maggie. You had your kids and your grandkids. So Maggie is on her second cycle. Probably going to be getting to the 3rd cycle if these grandkids grow up quick and then they have kids, and it's like, oh Lord, Maggie. Maggie's like, oh no, not more. I think you gotta enjoy them. There's just it's a beautiful thing that when they get here, but it's a horrible thing that they gotta go through what we went through, and now they have AI and technology, and everything's just really super advanced as far as they are trying to process our brains. I wonder what's the true goal of this, because the internet really wasn't supposed to be released onto the public, and yet they made it public and it exploded, and look what it has become, a wildfire. And it's scary. It's very scary. And yeah, the future is very scary. It is. But let's go ahead and check out this Jason A video, and we'll talk after.
What if an interstellar object whirling through our solar system is actually a nuclear-powered spacecraft sent by aliens to test how humans respond? That's what a noted astrophysicist believes might be the case, and he says an image from the Hubble telescope backs him up. Most scientists agree that the so-called 3-Eye Atlas is a comet from another solar system. But Harvard scientist Avi Loeb claimed on this show a couple of weeks ago that it could actually be some type of alien technology. Now, that's a controversial opinion all on its own. But he's now going a step further, arguing that the 3-Eye Atlas could be a nuclear-powered alien spacecraft. Loeb says the Hubble picture appears to show the object emitting its own light. The object also appears to lack something that all comets have in common, and that's a tail. So what is this thing exactly?
To an acclaimed alien expert who has compiled a field guide to out-of-this-world species you likely never knew existed. Many apparently, Make, hiding right here, plain sight on Earth, while others are only visible in photographs. Make, what's going on? Are there aliens among us?
All right, this is fascinating. Greys, reptilians, hybrids, and Nordics. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but they are the subject of a best-selling book, The Extraterrestrial Species Almanac. Yeah, written by award-winning filmmaker, author, writer, and producer Craig Campobasso. Now, he's an expert in alien life. He's researched and documented over 82 ET species that he has discovered live in our universe. And he says many here on Earth. Some, he says, are even present in our everyday lives, with many working for the government. His documentary by the same name integrates authentic photos of ET entities, state-of-the-art computer-generated imagery, and art renderings he says portray beings that defy earthly norms. So I sat down with Craig for a conversation in my newest We Are Not Alone episode. Here's a preview, a snippet of what he describes an alien species he ran across in his investigations. Take a listen.
It doesn't look like really anything that we've seen before. Its legs ended where our knees are. And then it had this long torso, long neck, sort of oval shaped head. And it was wearing goggles and it was holding a light sword.
Instead of the bug eyes, it had literally goggles on, like night vision goggles.
Goggles, yeah, they were like not like our goggles, but they were goggles.
Okay.
It was sent through my friend to the government, and they said that they hadn't seen those beings since 1958.
Now, here's something interesting. Some of the beings he's run across, he can feel an energy, hear a rustling, but can't see anything till he takes photographs, and they show up in the photographs. You got to listen to the episode for the full conversation. It's fascinating.
Well, there you go, May-Kay. All right. You always got to have an open mind.
That's right.
When you watch and listen to these things, it's what we talk about. Listen, we are not alone.
Welcome back. Well, the United States Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, last week told my friend Miranda Devine on her new podcast that she believes other life forms might be real. And she said she's continuing to search for the truth.
Is there anything in the files that you think you could find or you have found?
Nothing that I'm prepared to talk about today. We are I'm just going to say this. We're continuing to look for the truth and share that truth with the American people.
So do you believe that there could be aliens?
I honestly, like my personal belief, I have my own views and opinions.
Right.
In this role, I got to be careful with what I share.
Yeah, it was an intriguing conversation. And joining me now is a journalist who's been investigating UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, for years. Former 60 Minutes journalist Ross Coulthart is the author of a book called In Plain Sight, an investigation into UFOs and impossible science, and is now the special international correspondent for News Nation. Ross, great to see you. Now, what did you make of these comments by Tulsi Gabbard?
Tulsi Gabbard is saying what a huge number of US officials have been saying for the past few years, Sherry. There's a huge sea change happening in American executive government right now. They're suddenly waking up to the reality of UFOs. It all started in 2017 when the New York Times revealed that the Pentagon had secretly been investigating UFOs. And then it's come out more recently that a large number of officials are very interested in the phenomenon. Notably, most recently, Tulsi Gabbard, of course, the Director of National Intelligence, but also Vice President Vance. He admitted very recently that he's been watching a lot of UFO videos, and like everyone else, he's intrigued.
Look, there have been a lot of calls for the Trump administration to disclose what they know. I mean, this administration promised to be very transparent about classified files before they won office. We haven't seen that transparency yet. Do you expect we're going to, or is there a good reason why they haven't disclosed? I mean, we're what, 9, nearly 10 months in, why they haven't disclosed what information they hold on this topic?
I suspect that 99% of your viewers won't believe what I'm about to tell you, Sherry, but I am absolutely convinced after years of investigating this subject that the United States really has got information in its files about non-human intelligences engaging with this planet. And the Pentagon, frankly, is flat out lying when it denies any knowledge of such intelligence. I interviewed a guy called David Grush back in June 2023, who was a former very senior National Geospatial Intelligence Agency officer who used to write the Presidential Daily Brief. And Dave went public with me admitting that he had uncovered evidence of a UAP technology craft retrieval program where craft are secretly being reverse engineered by the US government. Why are they hiding it? I think they're hiding it because they're using the technology to try and develop an advantage over foreign adversaries, which is frankly fair enough. I do think, though, that the American public and the rest of the world should have the right to know that we're not alone.
That's absolutely fascinating. Ross, do you think, and I don't know if you've even looked into this yet, but do you think Elon Musk might have some information on here as well? Because obviously he does have a space company, satellite network as well. So he might be tapped into some of this sort of information that people are actually collecting physically.
I've been told by people in the intelligence community in the United States that Elon Musk had to be briefed because of his satellite work that he's been doing for the Defense Department. Frankly, one of the things I think Australia has its head in the sand on is the volume and intensity of admissions by the US administration. There are so many people who are now admitting that there is there, senior whistleblowers coming forward, but also people in government. You've got Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, has pledged transparency, and he's got a secret investigation going on into allegations that people have been murdered to protect this secret. As well as that, John Ratcliffe, the new director of the CIA, he also has vowed transparency. We're holding our breath and not really expecting much of a result just yet with President Trump. He's been very distracted. But I did an interview with Don Trump Jr. late last year, and he admitted to me that he is very interested in UAPs, and he's very engaged, and I get the impression so is his old man.
Say this is not only an alien spaceship, but it's nuclear powered? Why are you saying that?
Well, thanks for having me. First, I should say that if the light that we observe from this object is reflection of sunlight, its size needs to be bigger than Manhattan Island, 20 kilometers or so. And there isn't enough rocky material in interstellar space to deliver a rock of that size earlier than 10,000 years from now. So the question is, what is it? And its orbit, the trajectory that it takes, is aligned with the plane of the planets around the sun to within 5 degrees. That's a chance of 1 in 500. And moreover, the
what does that tell you? What does that trajectory tell you?
Well, it indicates that perhaps it was designed by some intelligence.
That's something steering it.
Not necessarily, but the trajectory itself was chosen to be such that this object will pass close to Mars, Venus, and Jupiter. The chance of that happening, the timing of its arrival is perfect for that, with a likelihood of 1 in 20,000. And so I'm just saying we should observe it. It doesn't look like it's a random occurrence. The size, the trajectory, the fact that it comes so close to 3 planets in our solar system, and actually it comes closest to the sun on October 29th, when the Earth would be on the other side of the sun. We won't be able to observe it. I'm analyzing right now the best image we have of it. We don't have any evidence for gas around it in the spectrum that was taken, but we do see some fuzz, some halo of scattered light around it.
We're looking at the image now. What does that tell you, that halo of light around it?
Right. So usually for comets, you see a cometary tail trailing the objects from behind because it's being pushed by the radiation from the sun. The dust particles are pushed to be behind, to lag behind the object. In this case, what we are seeing is a glow in front of the object.
What? A glow in front of the object. Right here, the glow. They're here. They're definitely here. They're already here. Those aliens, they're here. And I think a lot of them are in the Democratic Party. I don't know, just to make it make sense, right? Because who in the right mind from this planet that supposedly has been educated the same way, all of us have been educated the same way, how can we have these individuals act so out of hand and so crazy and have all these crazy thoughts and crazy ambitions? Like, I don't understand. But I wanted to check this out here with you guys. And we want to look at some portraits that have alien theme to it, I guess. It's very alien. Let's check it together. So these are UFO in the Renaissance paintings. So you're going to see 7 historical artworks that possibly depicts close encounters with the third kind. So we're going to real quick look at these photos, and this is history. This has been done way before our times. And let me get I need to get a keyboard that actually works here. Let's look at this painting. I mean, they calling this like UFOs back here? Like back here. They have, I mean, they don't look like clouds. I mean, if they want to say this is alien, I mean, this one has wings right here. This one, he's being baptized. Like, I would like, let's take a moment and just absorb the picture. I mean, who's this, and why is he bent over like this? He's taking off a shirt. Is he trying to get naked? I mean, I can see a little booty right here. So maybe he's naked. This person back here is naked, and he's taking off his shirt. Very unique picture, right? All right, let's go to another picture. Let's scroll down. Oh, wow. Okay. This is 1428 to 1432. Ooh, none of us were around at this time. There was other people here before us. And this is what they carved out. This is what they painted out. Huh. Just keep scrolling down a little so we can see the whole painting. Huh. And very religious, right? On a cloud that's possibly the mothership. And you have all these like saucers. They look like alien saucers. They're not clouds, because if it was clouds, it would be, it would look like clouds. This looks like alien ships, and this is like the mothership. And then you have this portrait here. This is like super strong energy right here. Very unique, right? Let's keep it moving. And you guys who want to take the time and read it, you could pause it, like rewind it and pause it, and you can read it. Because I'm going pretty slow. Like, I'm not going to sit here and read all that. I'm just reviewing the pictures. Look at this one. This picture, I look at it, it reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune card. It reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune card, Maggie. But look at the alien. Like, what is this? And then you have this one looking at it. He doesn't look like calm. He doesn't look calm. He looks startled. You have these people like looking away. You have this one like looks like it's running away with somebody else over here that's just like leaving the scene. Like they want to get out of there. And you have this one here standing here, long hair. And then their faces, like this one, he's not happy, like has a pretty concerned face. Also her. Like they're not like, and then this one is like wants to go like walk away, but it's also looking back as a curiosity, like very curious. A lot of them are curious, but a lot of them are trying to leave the scene, and very very alien like. Huh. And they're sticking out their hands, but it's palm down. This one's palm down. This one's palm up. I believe, I don't know if this is palm up, but she's just pointing, like she's pointing at them. Huh. Okay, let's keep it moving. Yeah, I should have put the chat here. My phone. Oh, look at this one. And this one's the Madonna. Let's see here. Oh, look at the aliens back here. What is this? What is this? I know this is probably the sun, but what are these things here? And then you have this person standing back here looking off in the distance. Like he's looking at what's going on here. Like it's caught his attention. My question is who, and like these people are really good artists, because this is like really like clean like painting. So the people from back in the days were really talented. Really good talented painters. Very very unique for its time. But look at the aliens. Let me put the YouTube on my phone here so I can see the comments. Okay. Because I had to do an update on my phone. Okay, here we go. Baby Jesus got some abs. Yes, look. Like, holy smokes. Like, look at these abs. Is it? Wait a minute. This is not a baby. This is a little person. This is like, you know how the little people, the midgets, like they call them little people? Like, but look at the chest. Look at the definition on those abs. Like, you can't tell me that's a baby. There's no way. I've never seen a baby with six-pack abs. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But baby? Six-pack abs? And then, like, did he fall down? Like, I'm trying to read the scene, right? Read the picture. Like, this one is helping him get up. And then she's like saying, listen, I'm not going to deal with this shit all day today. For the love of God, get the fuck up. Like, this is the energy she's projecting to me, right? So she's praying like that, and she's like, get the fuck up, you're embarrassing me. Like how your mom would tell you when you were little and you were acting up, and your mom would be like, get the motherfucker up, get the fuck up, or I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm like, oh no, I'm having flashbacks. This is giving me flashbacks. I don't want to see this picture anymore. It's giving me flashbacks. Like, I remember those days when I was like, get the motherfucker up or I'm gonna fuck you up. Oh no. Okay, so look at this. St. Augustine and the Devil. So this was back in what, 1475. So this is the painting they want to depict. I'm gonna scroll down so we can look at the whole picture. Oh, he has hooves. He doesn't have feet. That's hooves. And then he has a tail, and then he has a face in his ass. His ass is it's a face. And then you have whatever this demon is with wings. And then you have the priest here doing some kind of prayer. But this individual here is holding a book, possibly a Bible. This also gives me a resemble to a tarot card. This one reminds me of the oh my god, it's just crossed my mind. I have my tarot cards here, so that picture. The other one reminded me of the Wheel of Fortune, but this one here. Not getting. I said the show is going to be a little magic, so maybe I didn't read the title. I'm sorry for y'all. I'm sorry for y'all, but that gives me I'm trying to see which card would that be, man. It just reminds me of a fucking tarot. I don't even think it's this deck. The Hierophant. Yeah, I was looking at that one too. You know, it does kind of remind me of that, the Hierophant one. I love seeing my card. I just saw it. I love my card. But it's like the book, you know, and let me see. Because the priest is doing like he's praying, right? Or he's reading off the book, and the devil is helping him with the book. Just makes you wonder. I was looking at the Hierophant. That's what I did pause on, because it does look like a bit. It gives me a resemblance of the Hierophant. You can see. Hold on. Let me come back to me, and then let me zoom in. So it's like it just reminds me of it. But the way he was just holding the book, you know, and the priest is there, and then if you look at the picture a little bit better, because that's what we're doing. We're just getting into this picture. Look at the people in the background. This picture, because you have to look at everything, right? Just because they want you to pay attention to this, but pay attention to this person sitting here. There's somebody back here in the window. There's someone leaned over. Someone here gossiping with someone here. They're not startled. They're not like scared or anything like that. And I'm sure they would have been able to see this. So is this truly a demon, but as a spirit, like as far as like paranormal, like ghost, like demon, and he's like doing like a blessing to rid of evil? It makes you wonder, right? But they want to claim something alien with this picture. The only thing alien I see is these hooves. You got some nice ass hooves, man. You got some nice ass legs. Skinny legs, though. Skinny, very skinny. But, you know, a little food will help with that. All right, let's keep it moving. Oh, wow. Look at this one. Look at the peacock. You got a peacock here. Let's look at the whole picture. Okay. We'll break it off in segments. We'll look at the bottom first, and then we'll move to the top. And then we'll break down the top. Like, what do you see that's out of, like, ordinary? To me, what caught my attention back in the days, I guess there weren't really trustworthy people, right? I think back in the days, they used to have break-ins. So what caught my attention was bars on the windows. There's bars. Those are metal bars. See the lines? There's bars, so nobody can break in and nobody can do anything, any harm. That's what caught my eye. And then you got here a whole bunch of bottles, maybe liquor bottles. She's here praying. She has her arms crossed. I don't know whoever crosses their arms like that for prayer, because this is a book here and she's on her knees praying. And I don't understand this here where these people are just kneeling down. I guess they were part of the fisting party that Abrego was having, because at least they don't have their fist up in the air, you know, but very unique to be kneeling here in front of a barred window. Is she communicating with them in prayer? I mean, makes you wonder. You look in the back here, look in the background. I will have to go up to my computer to show you guys. Give me 1 second. So we could zoom in. I don't have my laptop in front of me, but I'm thinking about getting a new laptop this year too. They're holding a kingdom. You see the bars? That's what caught my attention. Look at the ones in the background. You always got to look at the background. Look at the one to the left. There's one that's holding like a jar or something on her head. Hold on, let me grab my mouse so I could show you guys with the arrow. And let me grab my phone too so I can look at the chat. I'm gonna do my show from a different location here where all my equipment is. So the show can continue. I can break it down here. Okay. So what I'm talking about is this one right here. There's a person standing here. You got a gentleman here. I could zoom in a little bit more. You got a person up here. You got these people up here. He's I don't know what's going on with him. He's a little sassy. He's a little sassy, okay? But everything, and then these two right here, like look at the way he's holding his fingers. Those fingers don't look normal. See those fingers? They don't look normal. Look how he's holding the flower. Like very delicate, right? But is he holding the flower with two fingers and then the rest of his fingers he's holding up this sculpture of a village? Now we can't see this person's hand underneath holding this, but we do see his other hand sticking out. And then if you're having a conversation, wouldn't you have more of a facial expression of a communicating expression, not just staring at each other? You know? Let's go back to this one over here. Look at those fingers. I've never seen fingers like this on humans. Is she human or she's a humanoid? Is she alien? I wonder. This is her bedroom. What is this? What is that? You see more when you zoom in. And it's more to meet the eye. I'm gonna have to get me a chair and sit over here. Look at the peacock. But look at the murals here. Look at the pictures. Look at the babies. There's babies everywhere. I didn't even know there was a bird there. There's a bird. This is bamboo. This is like a bamboo pole right here. This looks like a cage. There's like a bird inside. So this is a bird cage. Got a lot of pigeons. Whoa, what is that? Look at this. And it's beaming all the way down. You see people talking here. A lot of people are cleaning their rugs. They have the rugs sticking out like to dry them. But that energy pulse comes in through this little window here. And somehow it's beaming right into her head. See the beam? And it's coming right into her brain. Huh. That's very interesting. Right to her brain. See, people don't take the time to really analyze these photos. You know, and the good thing I could zoom in with my computer makes it very, very like helpful for us. But that beam, you see, is beaming into her skull right here, right to her brain. And she's reading Oh, and is mostly. It looks like she's doing. I don't know. It looks like she's doing a ritual. You know, maybe it's a little ritual, and she's reading on the book, and the information is being sent to her brain, but it's coming from this ship here, whatever this is. And everybody's cleaning their rug. You got the peacock, right? But if you notice, the peacock has a reflection. And here's the reflection of the peacock. So if the reflection is this way, right? So the sun will be this way. Somewhere down here is light that's beaming, that's causing an effect to have a shadow of the peacock. And I don't see anything only but this light that's coming across. That's probably a bright light that's leaving shadows here. There's a shadow here. There's shadow here. Shadow here. Shadow from the peacock over here. And the only light source is coming from that ship. Whatever that ship is that's radiating that light and it's making it so bright that's causing shadows. Very interesting. So let's go ahead and zoom out. Let's keep it moving. Look at this one. Look at this. Let's take a moment and look at that picture. What does it look like to you? Let's take a moment to analyze it. I mean, I see the sun. That's the first thing that calls our attention. And then we see all these, it looks like meteors. It could be meteors that are like a meteor shower. And, but it doesn't look right. I mean, what was catching my attention is this down here, the smoke. And you see the little balls down here? There's a lot of little balls here, and you have smoke. I wonder if this is like a meteor shower or like an asteroid shower. You know, I don't think it's a comet shower, but it's like it's fragments that are coming in. Can be very alien. That's what they're considered alien. Let's move on to the next picture. Oh, baptism of Christ. 1710, this picture was made. We'll come up to that part of the picture in a second. We're going to look down. Look at the whole picture. Now we're going to analyze it. Let's take a moment to look at the picture. And what catches your attention? What catches your attention? Besides the ship that's above, that's radiating this light, these 4 light beams downwards. And And they're claiming this is the baptism of Christ. But in this picture, who's being baptized? Is it Christ doing the baptism? You know, everyone has their attention. Let's go ahead and zoom in the picture. And we're going to look around the picture. These people look very interested in what's going on. They're paying attention. They're paying attention. Everyone here is paying attention. As you can see, he's very focused. He's very focused. All of them are looking towards what's happening down here. There's a lot of people down here too. But do they look human? Is the question, especially this one right here. Let's go ahead and move it around here. Let's take a look at this. Let's take it to the center piece here. I mean, if this is the baptism of Christ, it doesn't look like Christ is being baptized. It's like he's getting the baptism. But everyone's paying attention. Everyone is paying attention. All everywhere, even back here in the back. You see back here, there's some people here. Like, let me see if you can see them. They're standing right here. There are 3 people standing there. And then we'll say, what's that light coming from? What is that? That's a pretty weird picture right there for a painting, right? And this painting was done 1710. And we're looking at a spaceship. Looking at something supernatural. Definitely way before our time, like and more technologically more advanced than us. Makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. Let's keep it moving. Okay, so that was the last one. That was the last one. You got other pictures and stuff. I can do other shows in the future, breaking down pictures. But this one right here is creepy. Let's go to the beginning and let's zoom in. We started zooming in with this picture. Let's go to the one before and zoom in. Let's zoom in back here. Like I told you, someone was in the back there in the shadows. Look at it right there. You can see the person. Man, I am so good. And you know someone here. Look at it right here. There's that person. Look at this one. Do they look scared? No. Do they look curious? Somewhat. They're paying attention. Let's see up here. You see, someone was leaning over. These two are in a conversation. They don't really have a care to what's going on. I'm just trying to look at the background, see if there's anything telltale with the background. Okay. Anything that's telltale? Let's zoom out a little. But look at the apps. Huh. I'll tell you right now, that's one dirty ass. That ass looks very, I don't know, it looks weird as hell. And it looks hungry. But who would do a picture like this and paint a picture like this at that time? What was going through that minds of whoever's, did this painting's mind? From what I can see, this demon is not a male. It could be definitely a female because I don't see no balls and I don't see no shaft. Could this be a female? I don't know. It does have a chest. I don't know. Could it be female? I mean, it has. But whatever it is, it's holding the book up for him. It's holding the book. Let's look at the priest. Very interesting. Okay, let's go to the next picture. Oh yeah, the abs. The baby. I'll tell you right now, this mother. I know the mother's like, this motherfucker doesn't get up from the damn floor. I ain't gonna whip his motherfucking ass when we get home. This little fucker is embarrassing me. I'm telling you, I am telling you because right here, I pray to God, this little motherfucker better get the fuck up. Because I'm praying right now, if he don't get the fuck up, I'm gonna whip his ass. That's what this picture is screaming out to me. She's about to kick some ass. But zoom in. I don't know, that looks like a little person. That looks like a miniature, a mini person, like a mini me. That someone that has baby looks, but it's like 30 something, 40 something. Like, it could be a little person. It gives me little person vibes, Doesn't look baby to me, especially not with those abs. Like, those abs put me to fucking shame. Yeah, right. This motherfucker has a better six pack than me than I ever had in my life. But let's check out this back here, the aliens. And the person that's standing, you see him looking up. I told you in the background that he's right here. And he's looking up. And what he's looking at is, what the is this? What is this? Who would do a painting of this and add that to a painting? Let's move it around here. Like, I don't know, what is this? What are these? Is this the pigment of the sun? And but then what are these? You know, I'm trying to look at the background of the picture to see if they show anything here. You got the bulls. Look at the bulls on the bottom. Is that the red heifer? Is that a red heifer? I was just looking at, what was this? I'm looking at details. I'm looking at everything in this picture, trying to see what's what here in this picture. But this right here is very unique. This right here. Now we're going to break this off in segments so you can see better what I was looking, what we were looking at earlier, because I had to come up to the computer to do this. So I'm not at my desk at the moment, but I'm showing you guys an up close viewing of this portrait. This one here is so curious, like neck breaking curious. Like you see, they're trying to reach out their hand to this being, and she's like pointing at them. Look at the handle on the wheel that she's holding on to. Reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune. It says fortune in the bottom. But the obvious here in the middle, this is big globe. Just heard a crash outside. Oh, everything's okay out there because I heard a big crash. Look at the faces. Why are they looking? I feel like this is like a cover up. Because why is it all white? And then the way they're looking, look at their eyes. Look at everybody's eyes. Does that look happy? Was this picture altered? Because this picture doesn't make any sense. It's not making any sense. Why would you have people around just for a white little, and what's all this white coming down? It looks like snow. Is that snow coming down? Is that snow? It looks like snow. And those things don't look like clouds. They don't look like clouds. This guy's face looks like mad right here. Look at that face. Look at these faces. How come they look so like really good? Like, look how perfect they look. Like their faces. Look at all their faces, how they look. Like this whoever did this picture, holy smokes, look at this. And they don't look happy. They don't look happy. Like they have a frown. Like they're frowning. There's nobody here happy. Nobody in this picture's happy. Is that the Virgin Mary with Christ? Is this the Virgin Mary with Christ? Very unique. And it's the mercy of snow. Ha! I didn't even see it, but it is snow. It is the mercy of snow. And that's I think that's it. I think we got one more here. Oh yeah, this is the first one. Naked. I knew it, he was naked. See, I had to zoom in. From far away, I was like, he had to be naked. He looked like he was naked. And he has a little suntan. But he's taking off his clothes to get in the water. Because the water is right there. You see the reflection? Give me one sec. Here it is. You see the reflection? This is the reflection of these people standing here. So these people are standing here, but they're looking the other way. This guy's getting naked. He's getting into this water. He's gonna get into this water. And this is a guy. There's a guy too. He's pouring some water over his head, like he's bathing him. I mean, I think he's a little bit too old to be bathed like that, but that's why these girls are looking and gossiping. Hold on, let me go down. Let me see something. Just wanted to see their feet. But, she's confused. She looks like she's a little confused. This one here is like, what the fuck am I doing here? This one's like, not even like wanting to see what the hell's going on. But these two right here steal the show. They're like, what the fuck is going on here with these two? Like, what's going on here? You know? Look at it. Look at if you see them all together. Does that look like girls that are happy to be seeing a guy getting bathed? I think not. I think this is something very. The ladies look very concerned. They're like, never seen a man getting bathed by another man, and I'm concerned. The one in the middle is thinking. Her friend's trying to tell her, listen, you know, they do this from time to time. And the one in the middle is like, what the fuck? So, try to see if there's anything else in this picture. I mean, the clouds don't look they don't look like clouds. And the dove, but I tell you right now, these ladies right here ain't happy. Especially the one in the middle. The one in the middle, she's like, this is the first time of her seeing this. And she's like, what in the fuck is going on here? That man is grown as hell. You don't see his beard? Like, she's like, I've never seen this before, Barbara. This is the first time. I'm in awe. This is shocking. I don't even know what to think anymore, Barbara. And Barbara's like, listen, this is they do this. It's a little weird. I've seen it before. Yeah, I don't even know what to tell you, Barbara. Like what the fuck is going on here? All right, guys, we're done with the zoom ins. I think we're 50% here. All right, let's see. Let me come back up to the show. Coming back up to the show. I hope you guys enjoyed that presentation. Actually, because I need the mouse. I left the mouse. Okay. So we're gonna go next, and we're gonna see what we're gonna watch. I don't know yet. Let's go ahead and get back to the show. All right. Let me take this down. That was a good one, right? Maggie's too funny. I know. I'm like those
the picture, right? And then the ladies are looking at the guys. They're like, "What the fuck is this?" I didn't. I did not come on my Sunday over here. He telling me to come over here because he got something special for me to watch. I can come up here, and this bitch is getting bathed by another man. Barbara, tell me he's not getting bathed by another man. Barbara's like, listen, they do this sometimes. Oh no. But when I was standing, you were able to hear me okay? Because I was about 15 feet from the microphone. Were you able to hear me okay? I'm just curious. Let's see what else we got going on. That's why I like to do the morning shows because it's funny. I do the shows at night and I keep myself entertained, but I feel like the mornings I have more fun. I'm a morning guy. Let me see. Oh, Tyson put up a video. Yes, we can watch a Tyson de la Cruz. The streak continues with Tyson. So we definitely gonna get that. Let me see something. I just want to see this. That's another YouTuber here. I'm just opening up. It's Fat and Opinionated. What a name. Fat and Opinionated. We're going to check that out. Let me see if there's any other news going on. The Brago guy, I guess that's what's topping the news, that he surrendered to. Why are they making a big deal about him? He's just a person that came here illegally, but yet they're giving him his 15 minutes of fame. Why is he so deserving of 15 minutes of fame? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Yeah, I think we could watch this too, because I'm opening up some videos here real quick. Okay. I'm just going over real quick here. Let me see. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm just gonna play these two. Why is this like that? Why does it look like that? Let me see something. Give me 1 second. I don't know where I have. For some reason, my computer isn't responding to me. So let me see if I can do it here with the mouse because it's not responding. So give me 1 second to fix this here. I don't know why my computer. I'm gonna get another computer. Actually, probably for Black Friday. I'm thinking about getting another computer. Something that's more, a little bit more better than the one I have now. Let me see something. I don't know what that is. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, let's check out the tropics real quick. Let's see what's going on in the tropics. Let's gotta put this here. All right, let's check out the tropics.
And it's still out there over the open Atlantic. It's actually north of Bermuda. This, like Aaron, will never reach land. It's following that same path towards the north, up into the North Atlantic. And this system is really not expected to even reach hurricane strength. So it's weaker than Aaron for sure. And here you can see, this is the visible satellite. A couple things to point out: as the sun gets higher, it illuminates the cloud top. You see that little white spot tracking across just north of the equator. That is a sun glint. That is actually pretty slick ocean conditions, and the sun reflecting off of that. As that sun travels, as we rotate to the east, it looks like the sun is traveling to the west, but that's not a cloud. There's very few clouds out there that show any development. The one there over the Lesser Antilles, that's a tropical wave, and that is the Invest number 99. Now, what I want to show you here is this rolling through the Caribbean Sea. And there you can see in yellow, I highlighted the European model showing some of those winds that could reach 30, possibly 40 miles per hour, but it's straight line winds. There is no organized convection in this tropical wave that would lead to it developing. In fact, it's moving into a very hostile area in the Caribbean where the upper level winds are moving the opposite direction. They're flowing from the west, and that shear puts zero chance of that developing into any system. And there you see it passing well south of Jamaica through Wednesday, and then approaching Nicaragua as we head towards the end of the week. So I don't see any development with the system here. Even the GFS, which has been spinning up phantom storms notoriously here through the season, doesn't really develop that, even though it did last week. So even that model is pretty quiet. Seas will be building to around 4 to 8 feet there in the Caribbean as that tropical wave rolls through. And notice how wave heights stay pretty small in the Gulf of Mexico and even off our coast.
Oh, he's in the Gulf of Mexico. What? Oh, we can't respect you here.
Possibly developing.
All right, we don't respect that type of language here, mister. We don't. That's it. It's enough with that foolishness. It's a Gulf of America. It's not Gulf of. It used to be Gulf of Mexico, but we took that over, and now it's Gulf of America. Yeah, but the tropics are pretty. We could actually look at the. I always look at it every day, so let's look at the imagery of it, of what's going on out there. It won't take me long to get it ready for us. But I would not. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. Let me come over here. We're going to watch Tyson next. And then we're going to wrap up the show. So as you can see, it's loading up. Man, Ferdinand looks very healthy. That could be probably a hurricane right now. Ferdinand, this system right here, it looks very impressive. It looks very strong. It could be possibly going across and hitting the Azores. This is the system from yesterday. This is the system that they're watching. It's an open wave right now. Area of a lot of showers. A lot of this area is very rare. You see a hurricane develop and come across here and end up being okay, especially in the southern latitudes here, because this is like the graveyard of hurricanes where they go to die. It's this area. But when they pass this area and they head a little bit closer to southern Jamaica area, southern Haiti, southern Jamaica, these things explode into systems, into pretty strong hurricanes at a very rapid speed. I mean, I seen a storm develop here, and in 24 hours, it was a Category 5 hurricane. So storms could just pop up and develop super fast, and you have like a hypercane out of nowhere. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and check out the last video of the day, well, of the morning. I'll be back later on tonight. This one will be Tyson de la Cruz, that he so happened to did an upload 38 minutes ago. So thank you, Tyson. and we're going to end off the show with him. So sit back, relax, and let's watch.
And that breaking news, a former Albuquerque Police Department cadet has been indicted on 3 federal charges related to alleged human smuggling and money laundering.
America, a former Albuquerque police cadet who sued the department for racial discrimination, just got federally indicted for running a real estate empire that catered to human smugglers. Nan Zhang, also known as La China, and her partner Sanjay Khurana were charging cartels $2,000 a month for stash house rentals, giving discounts when business was slow, and laundering smuggled money through property deals. But here's where it gets absolutely wild. When the police found illegal aliens at one property after a shooting, Zhang kept the rental going and even warned smugglers about law enforcement activity, because this story connects a former police cadet who claimed discrimination to a sophisticated cartel money laundering operation that turned Albuquerque apartments into premium priced human trafficking facilities.
That Nan Zhang was part of a team of people harboring and transporting undocumented migrants. Now, for those who don't know that name, 4 years ago, we actually spoke with this person who was also applying to be an Albuquerque police officer.
What is up, guys? Tyson de la Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This story shows how somebody who wanted to be a police officer ended up allegedly helping cartels traffic humans and launder money through real estate. The hypocrisy here is absolutely staggering. Let me break down how a former Albuquerque police cadet went from suing the department for discrimination to allegedly running a stash house for human smugglers. This is Nan Zhang, originally from China, who joined APD's training academy in January 2021. She claimed officers started calling her Cadet COVID.
So they began to look at me weird, and they started to call. I became Cadet COVID. Cadet COVID.
And that she experienced racial discrimination that forced her to quit her dream of becoming a police officer.
Being a uniformed officer was the goal for former Albuquerque police cadet Nan Zhang.
We got robbed twice in 2017.
What the
I
hell?
thought that the best way to help is become part of a solution.
Zhang said her goal was to become a uniformed police officer. When we got robbed twice in 2017, she said, I thought the best way to help was to become part of the solution. She wanted to help fight crime in Albuquerque, but according to the federal prosecutors, she ended up facilitating it instead.
44-year-old Nan Zhang and 62-year-old Sanjay Khurana are accused of turning 4 rental properties into stash houses for human smuggling.
The same person who wanted to protect Albuquerque communities is now accused of helping cartels exploit them. Now, let me show you exactly how this alleged stash house empire operated, because it was a sophisticated business built on human suffering. From March 2023 to July 2025, prosecutors say the couple knowingly rented units to smugglers to house people brought into the United States illegally. But this wasn't just renting apartments. They were charging premium rates specifically for stash house operation. Court documents show Khurana owned multiple apartments across Albuquerque and Zhang managed them. They were specifically renting to human smugglers at $2,000 per month. This is higher than the normal rent rate because they knew what the properties are being used for.
Investigators also claim the couple was aware of what was going on and would even give the co-conspirators discounts when business was slow.
They were literally running a customer service operation for human traffickers, adjusting prices based on smuggling demand. Here's where this operation got exposed. A shooting at one of their stash houses led police to discover 15 illegal aliens inside.
One of those properties came to the attention of the public in September 2024.
It's not just the border. There was a violent shooting yesterday afternoon in Albuquerque at a stash house where there were 15 migrants there.
This was 4505 Villaloma Lane, a 3-story townhouse that Khurana owned and Zhang managed.
Court documents say a human trafficker, only identified as co-conspirator 2, was shot in the chest, but investigators were reportedly already closing in.
When police responded to the shooting, they found 15 illegals inside the property.
Documents also state that an undercover agent posing as a human smuggler met with Jiang and Karana between May of 2024 and July 2025.
But here's what shows their criminal intent. Even after the shooting exposed their operation, Zhang kept the rental going and continued working with someone who she thought was a smuggler. The documents show she met with undercover agents posing as human traffickers between May 2024 and July 2025. Now let's talk about how they tried to launder smuggled money through real estate deals, because this shows the sophistication of their criminal enterprise. The couple rented apartments to undercover agents and offered to launder human smuggling money. They went through the process of selling the Southeast Albuquerque home to agents they thought were smugglers, specifically to clean the cartel cash.
The indictment says the two inflated rent prices for those units, then tried to launder the money through a real estate deal.
On July 22nd, 2025, they closed on a fake sale with an undercover agent, taking $75,000 in cash on top of the contract.
If convicted, they're facing up to 20 years in prison.
Karana offered to act like the bank to hide large cash payments and put property titles into third-party names to cover up the ownership. This was an amateur hour with them. This was a sophisticated money laundering operation designed to clean cartel profits through Albuquerque real estate. Let's look at the scope of this operation, because federal prosecutors want to seize at least 5 properties connected with the Stash House empire.
A grand jury indicted Jiang and Karana on charges of conspiracy in addition to money laundering. If convicted, they face up to 20 years in prison and, of course, forfeiture of their properties.
The feds want to seize at least 5 of the Albuquerque properties used in this particular scheme.
Zhang's attorney, Thomas Grover, says they are now suing the city because they refuse to give up public records that have to do with her cadet file.
The irony here is absolutely incredible. Zhang is still pursuing her discrimination lawsuit against APD while facing federal charges for helping cartels. Her attorney is still fighting for her police records while she's accused of the exact opposite of law enforcement.
Now, Jiang is a former APD cadet. In fact, she filed a lawsuit in 2021 claiming she was mocked and ridiculed because of her gender and her Chinese accent. She claimed, in fact, at one point she had been called Cadet COVID.
Cadet COVID.
That lawsuit is still active.
America, this story shows the incredible hypocrisy of somebody who claimed to wanted to protect communities while allegedly helping cartels exploit them. Nan Zhang went from suing the Albuquerque Police Department for discrimination to being indicted for running a stash house empire that charged cartels $2,000 a month to traffic humans. She claimed she wanted to be part of the solution to crime, but prosecutors say she actually became part of the problem. The business model was sophisticated and deliberate, premium pricing for stash houses, discounts when the smuggling business was slow, and continued operations even after police found 15 illegal aliens at one property following a shooting. This wasn't accidental. This was a criminal enterprise. The money laundering scheme shows how cartel cash gets cleaned through American real estate, off the books cash payments, third-party titles, and property deals designed to hide sources of smuggling profits. Zhang and Karana allegedly offered to act as the bank for cartel cash. The properties being seized include apartments, townhomes across Albuquerque that were turned into human trafficking facilities. These weren't just rental properties. They were infrastructure for cartel operations on American soil. The ultimate irony is that Zhang is still pursuing her discrimination lawsuit against APD while facing 20 years in federal prison for allegedly helping the very criminals that police officers are supposed to arrest. She wanted to wear a badge, but ended up allegedly working for the cartels. This case proves that cartel operations are embedded in American communities through real estate, using people who understand our system to facilitate human trafficking and money laundering. The corruption goes deeper than most people realize. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comments section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.
All right, that was Tyson Little Cruz. I do have one more I want to read that Tyson had put up, but he had put up as a short. So I want to check that out now with you guys. And then I'll wrap up the show because it's already been 3 hours. So let's go ahead and watch this, and then we'll be done.
Of
of meth on the run from police. The evidence led to drug traffickers in Atlanta and then to cartel leaders in Mexico.
They also found more drugs in a bus and in homes connected with this network. We're talking about a sophisticated operation that was moving massive amounts of drugs from Mexico into American communities.
Today, the Justice Department unsealed charges against 3 leaders and 2 high-ranking enforcers. They include cartel boss Juan Jose Farias Alvarez, known as El Abuelo.
This wasn't some small-time operation. This was an industrial-level drug trafficking network connected to Juan Alvarez, the top leader of the United Cartel, a criminal organization that Trump designated as a foreign terrorist organization. Now, here's where the story connects with the highest levels of Mexican organized crime and shows the scope that we're dealing with.
Today, the DOJ indicted 3 leaders and 2 high-ranking enforcers of the United Cartels. The U.S. government is offering a reward of up to $10 million for information leading to the arrest of United Cartel's top leader, El Abuelo, or the grandfather, along with multi-million-dollar rewards for the 4 others.
All of these people presumably believed to be in Mexico.
Federal investigators now tracing all of this back to cartel leaders in Mexico. This morning, the U.S. government has announced multi-million-dollar rewards for information leading to the arrest of each of those 5 suspects.
During the investigation, authorities found messages between Mendoza and an associate of Juan Alvarez. The United Cartels control Michoacan, Mexico, and produce massive amounts of methamphetamine. These are terrorist-designated criminal organizations with international reach.
Matthew Gagliotti, the Assistant Attorney General in charge of the department's criminal division, said, quote, "These cases serve as a reminder of the impacts that global cartels can have. The chain started with a violent cartel and ended with law enforcement being shot at in a small town."
Here's something that shows you how these cartels operate and with the level of violence that we're dealing with. After the U.S. seized all these drugs and started arresting people, Mendoza fled back to Mexico. You might think he was safe there, but you're wrong. These cartel leaders killed him because the operation got exposed and cost them millions of dollars.
Full of meth on the run from
Wow,
police. The evidence
that
led
is
to drug trafficking.
crazy. Oh, what a good one. That was a good little shorts there. Let's bring it out to me. Oh, what a good show. I'm tired now. It's been almost 3.5 hours. But time flies by when you're having a good time, right? And it doesn't take many people to have a good time. A few is good. I want you guys to continue having a good day wherever you guys are at. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. And I'll catch you on the flip side. I'll be back on this evening to recap what goes on today. I'm pretty sure wild shit, something's going to happen. It always does. I just hope they find the baby, you know, like baby Emmanuel. I hope they get to locate him and find him. I hope, I really hope that they buried him, you know. If they buried the body, it would make it so much better than to just dump the body like on the side there on the mountains, because these wild dogs and wild coyotes and so forth will go after that body and tear it up. They're just savages. They're hungry. They eat anything. And a little baby that's 7 months years old, that's an easy meal for them. So with that said, continue to have a good day, and I'll be back on later on today to recap what happened throughout the day. Okay, guys, be peaceful and stay peaceful. Peace for now.